The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, coming up is going to be the last weekend before Halloween, and even though we do love our scares and our frightful times and our horror movies and horror music and horror everything else, especially during this time of year, there's also real horrors out there in the world. And up in my neck of the woods, I got some belligerent Marine Corps cocksucker traipsing around with a fucking gun in my backyard. So anyway, I'm still alive. The guy is pretty far away, so uh, it was getting a little spooky for a little while, but it looks like things might be lightening up a little bit. We still don't know. They haven't caught the son of a bitch yet, but it's going to take a lot more than some dickhead with a gun to take me down. And that's all I have to say about that. Halloween is almost here. Can you dig it? I can. Can you? Bet. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 587 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also, there's technical difficulties in the Lair of Lost Swag right now. We'll have to get back to them. But we're also broadcasting from Casa de Negative Zero in the light room. I see pumpkins. Does that say life, love, whatever the fuck?
It says beautiful life.
Oh, okay. Was it live, love, laugh? That's the one I was thinking of.
Live, laugh, love, lament.
Lament. Do you hear the lamentations of the women? All right, so we are live. We are waiting for a Raven Shadow. We just couldn't wait anymore. He's the one that's late tonight. He's the reason we're late, right, MZ?
That is exactly right.
Okay, I wanted to hear you admit it, because usually you say it's me.
Nope, this time it wasn't you.
Thank you. All right, so Raven Shadow is the late one. He'll be popping in just a few minutes, I would imagine. And so tonight we're going to be talking about a movie that ended up being a lot more relevant than I had ever anticipated. Well, I guess in this country, you never know. But we're going to be talking about the film Night of the Hunted, and it is the latest film from director Frank Calhoun. And we talked about Frank last week. And he had previously directed the Maniac remake, which we liked quite a bit. He's done...
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. He's done a few other things since. And I think the other one he did was just okay. It was I Lived, I think. It was like, one about a dude with a app that was telling him to kill people or something like that.
Right.
So, but yeah, interested to dive back into Frank's output, and we'll be talking about Night of the Hunted in a little bit. Before we do that, though, we typically shoot the shit. I hear loud noises, so someone must be joining.
Speaking of shit.
Yeah. So, let's see. So, right off the top, I want to talk about the extra special Halloween special coming up soon. Because I don't want to spend too much time on it, because this is only going to be relevant for a few days. So for the people who will hear this prior to Monday, which is, a good portion of our listeners, usually most of them listen in the first few days. But we'll be doing, once again, is it the 12th time? Yeah, I think, I always get confused. We just passed our 11th year anniversary. So I don't know if this is the 11th or 12th. I always forget how time works. But anyways, we'll be doing our extra special. Stop with the noise, Raven Shadow.
Jesus
Fucking Christ. he's just,
Oh,
he's
God.
sitting. He was sitting there with his smoke hanging out of his fucking mouth, messing around with the fucking microphone. I'm gonna take the technical difficulties off his fucking camera so
Yeah.
people can see what.
You know what? I think you should leave that on there because it's
Always.
gonna be he's a constant technical difficulty.
You're not wrong.
He truly is. He truly is. He is the goofus to our Gallant.
I haven't heard
You
you
know?
bring that up in a while.
I mean, if highlights for children were real life, Raven Shadow would be Goofus.
Yeah. Hey, Goofus.
I don't like that. What's
Put,
that?
put the mic closer to your fuck. What is this?
Look at
You're all
look at what this
disheveled.
fuck-
It's lighting up his smoke before he gets his mic in place. I see what's
Hello?
most important.
It's a
Priorities.
drug. I'm
man.
addicted.
No, you're not. You just want to be cool.
You could just shorten that. Just say you're a dick.
Put the dick back in addicted.
Yeah.
Why you trying to bury me? I come in with all this heat.
Because you're late.
You bring it onto yourself, dude.
Well, I apologize.
No, you don't.
To who?
I just did. I was there.
Who do you apologize to?
I want the community, the listeners,
The
our
com-
friends,
The
my
community?
co-hosts.
I don't know. It sounds a little disingenuous to me. I don't know.
I'm wicked genuine. Genuine. I'm very generous.
Wicked genuine.
Yeah.
Genuine?
Yeah, I was drinking some genuine earlier today. Is that a rapper?
Yeah,
Genuine.
he's a rapper. Genuine.
Yeah. Raven Shadow
Yeah,
puts
yeah.
the wine back in genuine.
Yeah, that's like Will I Am.
So
Will I Am. Genuine. I'll be sure.
before I
Mary
was
Kate
so
Blige.
rudely interrupted, I was about to talk about what we were going to be doing on our extra special Halloween special, but then fucking, what'd you call him? Goofus? Goofus showed up. It is funny, isn't it?
That's a little mean, I think. It's a little mean. It's a little mean is what I think it is.
No.
See, it's like Goofus and Gallant. It's like Goofus is always late on the show and fucks around with his headset all day long, making noise during the show, while Gallant is always here on time and more than prepared to do the show.
You know what? I'm going to go on peanutbutter.com and send a fucking gift basket to your house right now. What do you think of that?
Peanutbutter.com. What is that?
Yeah, they send peanut butter.
Well, let's see.
You might get sick. Don't enter that. Don't log into that. You might get a contact.
I'm gonna check this out. Peanut. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, he's looking at peanutbutter.com. Let's see what it is.
Yeah, man.
That reminds me of for Tron's wedding, I had to look up. I had to get a tux fitted in Chicago. Or I had to send Chicago my measurements when he was living there. And someone was helping me go on the website. And like, what's the website? What's the tux place? I'm like, oh yeah, it's trousersnake.com. And they looked it up. I'm like, don't do that. Don't click on that.
Is that
link.
like biginthepants.com?
Kinda.
Let me see if that's
All
available.
right. So I got peanutbutter.com here, but I'm a little reluctant to hit go.
Yeah.
Should I
Do
be?
it. Yeah, do it. You'll probably get a lot of porn on your phone like Raven Shadow's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love peanut butter based porn. You get your D and my V. Oh.
It looks like biginthepants.com
Oh.
is available again.
It's a Skippy site.
Oh,
Hey.
look at that. MZ is now going to get blown up because he's just looking
Yeah.
at peanut butter. Nice job, Raven Shadow.
That's the
That's
last
a
thing
good segue to our Demon Lover conversation from last week. Call back.
Did we talk about Demon
No.
Lover last week?
Nope. Last week I listened to that last year's Halloween special.
Oh,
it's a
okay, yeah.
Back to last year's Halloween special.
I was going to say, I don't remember talking about that for like a while. Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of, that's a good segue to get back on track after we were so rudely interrupted by Goofus. And on the extra special Halloween special, we'll be broadcasting live on Devil's Night. That is Monday, October 30th at 8 p.m. And we'll probably do. We typically do a little less than the like a normal show, so maybe 2.5 hours. You never know. it might be 3, but we're gonna try and keep it to a
Could be
tight
close to 4.
2.5 hours on Monday night, because I know it's a lot to ask to have people come hang out, spend 5 hours with you on in 1 week. So we understand. So yeah, we'll be live on Monday, October 30th. All the places you find us on first and foremost trickortreatradio.com. Go there and you can get you get the chat room, you get the video feed, all that good stuff right there. But you can also watch us on YouTube on the Trick or Treat Radio YouTube page, and also we broadcast on Facebook as well. So if you are in the Facebook group for Trick or Treat Radio, or you like our page, the Trick or Treat Radio page, you should hopefully, I don't know what the fucking algorithms are doing today, but hopefully it should show up and you should get notified if you follow either one of those. So those are the ways you can hang out and watch. Sometimes we get some new people hanging out for the Halloween shows because it's a different thing. It's not the weekly show; it's a different night. So we hope you guys can join us. That's the best way. If you can't join us live, we will release the episode the next day on Halloween. Always drop a show on Halloween, and it'll be the extra special Halloween special. And we have a format, believe it or not. We sort of like put it together with bubblegum and tape earlier today, but it's together. It's been sort of like brewing and marinating for a little bit, and we just kind of put all the pieces together. But we're gonna do the main format of the show, the main topic. We're gonna kind of bounce around between, because this topic can fit multiple conversations. So we're going to go ahead and just have lots of conversations around this. But it's about, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's really about music that is synonymous with horror movies. So music and horror go together exceptionally well, like peanut butter and MZ. Oh wait, no.
Yes.
Peanut butter and chocolate. Goofus and Gallant. Yeah. They go together great. And maybe peanut butter and jelly. What's your favorite jelly, Raven Shadow? What kind? Or do you like jam? You jam guy?
No. I don't do the jam or marmalade.
Well, I know you like fucking Uncrustables, so I know there's jelly in those.
Uncrustables, sir. I like to eat them and enjoy them.
Preserves?
Yeah, what's in them? Is it jelly, jam, preserves? What is it?
I don't know. I don't like the one with seeds. Remember is that preserves? They have seeds.
That's preserves, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. You know what? I mean, grape is great. It's the classic. But strawberry jelly always kind of excites me a little bit. It's like a nice, look at that.
Yeah,
but that's preserves.
No, jelly.
Jelly. I'm a strawberry jelly guy. That's mine.
Strawberry is preserves. Orange is marmalade. Grape is jelly. And everything else is jam.
Wait. What's this boy talking about? What
does this boy be talking about on the jam phone? On the marmalade.
You never hear grape preserves. It's always grape jelly. You never hear strawberry jelly.
I hear strawberry jelly.
Preserves.
Let me look at the one that I buy. I think they call it jelly.
Yeah, go on jelly.com, please.
It's always been preserves, and orange has always been marmalade.
Let me see.
Every other flavor has been jam.
Oh, you know what?
Jelly.
He's right. He's right. At least the one I buy. It's I get Smucker's Natural strawberry fruit spread, but it does say preserve. This is Smucker's Natural Strawberry Preserves on the listing of it on the website.
Yeah, I always wondered why it's like that. Why they list it like that? Like, why is strawberry preserves, orange is marmalade, grape is jelly?
Yeah, I always just thought of them as jelly.
Why?
That's Look at that, and learn something new, Raven Shadow. You and me, we can learn something new. You look very confused.
Yeah,
You're very confused.
I am confused, but I'm all right. It's been a long time since I've been. What place had like was it Denny's that always had like, a big stack of well I guess diners in for the breakfast rush will have various marmalades and
Yeah, I mean,
chips and shit.
yeah, they had those little tiny little containers that were like
Yeah,
the like size of the old like butter ones. They'd have some jelly ones too, like a little
Size.
plastic container. Yeah.
right. But,
So
but
what?
don't they have like apple jelly,
Apple jelly, mint jelly, sure.
Mint jelly,
Raspberry jelly,
petroleum jelly,
petroleum jelly?
William jelly, our jelly.
What are they?
our jelly.
So what's
It's
blue?
urine
Tastes like
flavored.
piss. Yeah.
So the only jelly is grape and petroleum. Okay, good, got it.
Urine flavored our jelly.
Yeah, I got strawberry lube. Oh, caramel lube. That could be a thing too. I'm not sure what's out there, but
Oh God.
that's weird, man.
I don't even know.
Stuck to your teeth.
Oh, we're talking about things going well together, and we went off on a tangent of jelly, jam, or preserves. But anyways, yeah. So music and horror go well. They go well together. I mean, you almost can't have horror without music. I mean, you think of like some of the great theme songs. You think of like Halloween. You think of Tubular Bells, right? Like, list goes on and on. But we're gonna focus specifically on music. Well, not specifically on this, but like music that's synonymous with horror movies. So when you think of when someone says Rocky Horror Picture Show, I mean you just start singing Time Warp, right?
Right.
Yeah. When someone when someone mentions Jaws, I know it's not a song per se, but everyone goes Durner, Durner. You know, like it's sort of like this synonymous memory of you think of someone names this and then immediately comes to mind is the music, you know. So that's those.
How about this, Wolfie?
Yeah,
how
go
about
ahead.
Dream Warriors? You think of Doc?
Dawkin, man, yeah. Rockin' with Dawkin. Dick Dawkin with Dawkin.
Yeah. They should do Dawkin Shock. It could be a whole
Dawkin Shock?
Dawkin based
Wait, is that going to be the follow-up to Guac Shock?
Yeah.
We'll do Guac Shock for Cinco de Mayo, and then we'll do Dawkin Shock. I don't know. Like, I don't know when that would be.
Oh, bro, we have to do that's the gimmick.
Cinco de Mayo, Guac Shock.
Guac and Shock.
Okay.
Now we got a fucking angle on that. That's a new pay-per-view right there, baby.
Or a PLE, as WWE calls them now. Do you know what that stands for?
Yeah. Well, not paid live events. It's a premium live event.
Yeah, no, it's Preserve live event.
It's preserved. It's not a marmalade live event.
A Marmalade live event.
Marmalade. They have that in Adelaide. It's very Australian.
Marmalade in Adelaide. So yeah, it's a PLE, premium live event. But yeah, so Guac and Shock, maybe it'll be a premium live event. I don't know. But anyways, the extra special Halloween special, we're going to be talking about music and horror. Specifically, I want to focus a little bit on, I don't know if this subgenre has a specific name, maybe MZ, maybe you know, like haunted music or music that summons demons or ghosts or whatever. Like I'm thinking like Lords of Salem. Actually, this one just came to mind, Raven Shadow, Allegoria from your boy Spider One. Do you remember they played the Forbidden Melody or something like that? Or the Forbidden Notes. I don't remember what they called it, but
yes,
there's like a sequence of notes that if they're played, it will like invoke a demon or something like that. I forget like the whole deal with it.
Yes. Good call. Good pull, Wolfie.
So that was another one. MZ mentioned earlier, we were talking about this, The Gate. I can't believe I forgot about The Gate because I fucking love that movie. Deathgasm, Studio 666. These are movies that we did on the show. Can you guys think of any other movies that have? Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, I think you dig it.
I haven't seen Studio 666 yet.
So, any others that you guys can think of? I'm sure there's like so many.
I've been racking my brain.
You know what? There was an episode, maybe you remember this, Raven Chow, an episode of Constantine, where there was like it was a TV show, the live action TV show that they did on like, whatever, was it Fox or?
I wish it was on Fox. It was fucking
CBS
ABC, bro.
It was like ABC, that's
the
right.
It was the most network you could get.
Yeah.
Like, at least at the time, I think Fox was doing that Sleepy Hollow show.
Oh, right.
They had like Cannibal, and those shows at least had a little more stones. But no, this is on fucking, the network that brought you Love Boat.
Yeah.
TGIF, like Full House, Family Matters, and Constantine. What the fuck, guys?
But I think
Full of Constantine.
I'm going to look it up because I think there was one with a haunted album.
I think there was. I think maybe Rock might have talked about it. Because I didn't see all the Constantine shows.
Oh, okay.
It was that,
I saw that episode. It was pretty good.
It was. I think I didn't have a DVR just yet. So it was still that era of.
Coiney's calling you out. He says you're wrong, motherfucker. He said Constantine was on NBC, the same as Hannibal.
Oh, well, it's still a fucking major network. You're gonna call me out? No, Love Boat was on CBS, motherfucker.
It was episode 3 of. They only did the one season, right? Of Constantine, yeah. So it was episode 3. John and Zed engage in a dangerous confrontation to save a woman and her family from sinister forces. John's efforts force him to confront the darkness in his own life while also coming face to face with a new powerful adversary in Papa Midnight.
Oh shit! He's a real character.
Was that the one? It had to be. Because the name of the episode, let's see. The name of the episode is The Devil's Vinyl, so that must be it.
Was there any? What about Lords of Chaos? The movie Lords of Chaos. Did that?
Well, that was the death metal movie.
Yeah, it was black metal. It was
black metal, right.
Sorry, Range, I have to correct you on that.
Fine, you and Corny, fine. It's fucking verbal fucking spell check.
Well, there's a big difference between black metal and death metal.
I fucking know. I'm sorry.
Where's your corpse paint? You should wear corpse paint for that mistake.
I love that meme. You seen it too, where it was like all the fucking either black metal Swedish dudes, and there's the one dog, and they're like, it's day 5. They still don't know I'm a dog. Have you seen that? Not meme, but like Facebook thing.
No.
Well, I'm sure Corny has.
I'm sure it's funny.
Batting 0-0-0 tonight.
Yeah, no shit.
It's true, yeah. Thanks. I'm glad my friend's not fucking putting me over. That's good.
So what was the movie you just said? Lords of Chaos. Because that was based on a real story. That was like, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure there's some others out there too. But so kind of with a focus on that. But I want to theme the episode around the sort of symbiotic relationship between horror and music. Not like I was thinking more metal, but it's not just metal. Like when you think of like music, like MZ brought up earlier, it's not even not earlier. I just mean in our chat earlier, not on the episode. It's not tied to a movie, I don't think. But what was that? Get Back Goblin, but Jan Terry, was it?
Terry, yeah.
Was that from a movie, or was that just or for a show?
No, I think that's her own composition.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, but so I want to sort of extend it to things like that as well. So it doesn't have to be tied to a movie, but something that is very reminiscent of Halloween and horror, but with a focus on stuff that is tied to film. You can think of a bunch of different ones. Like another one we talked about offline was MZ's gonna love this. We talk about DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, but Nightmare on My Street
Nightmare on My Street.
from I forget what Nightmare on Elm Street that was from. Do you remember? Was it 4 or 5?
It wasn't on any. It
Oh,
was just a
No. It was on Will Smith's album or the Fresh
Well,
Prince and Jazzy Jeff.
yeah. Well, I knew
Yeah.
that, but I thought
Yeah,
it
it had-
also was in a movie. But I must be wrong.
No, it wasn't attached.
I think the only rap Freddy thing. Well, there was the Fat Boys.
Fat
and
Boys,
Freddy.
yeah.
Are you ready for Freddy?
Yep. So yeah,
But
I
Blowing
was
our load too quickly.
I was mistaken, but with that they sampled the music from Nightmare on Elm Street for the Nightmare on Elm Street theme, and Freddy was on it and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's kind of I wanted to give people some examples because we're asking for participation. So, there's 2 ways you can participate in the Halloween show. Number 1 is if you want to send us a voice message or an email, then you can go ahead and send us, whether it was songs you discovered from movies you discovered with songs, or just some of your favorite songs that make you think of Halloween or horror, specifically horror movies. Because we've done playlists before, like we've created playlists and curated them and come up with some cool ones. So I don't want to necessarily just have people name their favorite songs, to listen to around Halloween. I'd like to have them sort of more tied to film. But like, for instance, there's another one that I want to mention that is tied to a film, but it's not a horror movie. But I feel like it's a song that is very much a Halloween song, and that would be a song like Dead Man's Party from Oingo Boingo, where that you think of that, I mean, that's a song you would play at a Halloween party, but it was in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, so it's not really a horror movie, but I still think of that song fondly, like in that light. So I would make an exception for things like that. And actually, there's another Oingo Boingo song, No One Lives Forever, which was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So you could sort of, tie in things like that.
Oh.
But yeah, so things like that. So if you guys, that's sort of like the topic. You can go nuts with it. You can sort of define it how you want to, but horror and music, being synonymous. Just kind of talk about some thoughts around that, like whether you discovered something because of a song, or discovered a movie because of a song, or discovered a song because of a movie, or some of your favorite. It could be even like soundtracks. Like we've talked about some great soundtracks in the past, but there's some great like horror movie soundtracks that are out there. We don't have to name them all now because like Raven Shadow said, we want to save some for Monday. But
we were listening to some music. We were carving pumpkins over the weekend, and a song came on, and I'm like, with Mary, I'm like, the minute blank song plays, I think about this particular movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to get into that.
Exactly. So things like that. Let's see. In the chat, Angry Townsman's hanging out, says evening everybody, and he said Killer Clowns by the Dickies. I don't know if I even know that song. Unless it's in a movie, then I just forget. But not by title. Evil Corny says only in movies, or like Robert Johnson's Hellhound on My Trail. Yeah, it can be evocative. I want to try to focus mostly on songs from films, or it can even extend to like for instance, like Danny Elfman will forever be connected to like spooky stuff. Because he did the voice of Jack Skellington. He did the singing voice of Jack Skellington. Right. So he will always be, he will always be synonymous with that. And also a lot of the movie scores that he did with Beetlejuice and Ed Wood. I don't know, like you name it. Like a lot of those Tim Burton ones. Sleepy
Oh,
Hollow.
Tim Burton. I mean, the Batman stuff. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and I'm talking about more of the spooky stuff. But
sure.
for instance, like that, I don't know, like to me he's synonymous with that. But, if corny, if Robert Johnson's Hellhound on My Trail is very evocative for you and you don't have any like songs or movies that come to mind, like then yeah, absolutely. Like call that out, like talk about I just want to kind of create some more conversation around that because I think it's an interesting topic. Or you can call out some of your favorite movies that once again feature music like we talked about with like haunted albums, or things like that. I'm sure there's a lot of others out there that we're not even thinking of. So that's kind of the premise. And we're also going to, this is just for Patreon supporters, by the way. So sorry, that this next thing is just for Patreon supporters. The voicemails for anyone can send in a voice message. But this next part is just for Patreon supporters. We're also going to do, as we always do for the last 3 years, this will be the 4th year, I like to put together an intro for the Halloween show. 4 years ago, we did This Is Halloween. Speaking of Danny Elfman, we did This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas. And everyone did a awesome job. Everyone contributed and sent in some lines. And I mixed it all together. And then the year after, we did the Hearst song, which was from initially was, well, it's sort of like, it's something that's sort of just in the ether now, I think. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it first showed up in Scariest Stories to Tell in the Dark, or at least they sort of used a version of it. But there's also been songs about it and things like that. So that was a good one. And then last year, holy shit, what did we do last year? I just listened to it too, and I just completely drew a blank. I'll pull it up in a sec here. I can't believe I just fucking blanked on it. Let's see. Halloween 2022. We did. Oh, Thriller. That's right. We did the Vincent Price spoken word part of Thriller, and I thought that was awesome. That came out really great. I don't know if you heard that one, MZ, because you weren't.
No,
you weren't on the show. Let's see. How long is it? You know what? Maybe I'll play it during the break. Maybe I'll do that. I was going to play it now, but maybe I'll do it during the break. Because I think that came out really cool, and I love everyone's contributions, and it's just one of those fun things. So this year, what we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do submissions from Patreon supporters, and in order to be part of it, you have to be a Patreon supporter. So if you're not already and you've been kind of on the fence and you want to help contribute to this, then you can just sign up. Go to patreon.trickortreatradio.com, and you can sign up for as little as $2 a month and get in that lower tier, and then you can participate. And what we're going to do this year is I'm going to leave it up to people. I'm going to leave it up to you to pick a line from your favorite spooky song / poem, I guess, technically. It could be either of them. And what I'm going to do is it's going to be an interesting experience for me, because I'm going to take everything that I get and try to piece it together and make something interesting out of it. So if you want to take a line from Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, go ahead, record that. If you want to take a line from, I don't know, like Dead Man's Party, if you want to take a line from Welcome to My Nightmare, from Alice Cooper, any of these spooky songs, something that makes you think of Halloween, a song or a poem, send a line to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and just say, in the subject, if you could just say like Halloween intro or Halloween line, or just put Halloween in the title so I know. And then I will go ahead, piece it together. I'm going to try to do a little bit of music. I don't know how much. I have a slightly better setup now for music, So I don't know how much I'll be able to do, but I am off Monday, so it's going to be my Monday project, and we'll see what we get. So if you guys are interested in participating, I'll post some more stuff on Discord, and I think all of our patron supporters are on Discord. So keep an eye on that for the sort of parameters, but you can start thinking about it. And if you already know what you want to do, just send it. Send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and just put Halloween intro in the title. And just give me like 1 or 2 lines. I may not use all of it, or I may. So it's going to be one of those things where I'm just going to see what I get and kind of piece it together like a puzzle and go from there. So it should be fun. And
that is going to be one hell of an editing undertaking.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I know.
we're talking.
I went from Raven Shadow suggesting something. I'm like, that's way too much editing to doing this. The thing is, though, it might actually be easier because in the past, I've like had multiple takes and I've like laid them all out and I've tried to piece them together. So I kind of do it anyways, you know, so it's really not going to be that much different. I'm just going to kind of see what I get, listen to them all, and see if I can get some ideas for what to do for like background noise or maybe music. In the past, I've done like some combination where it might be like a rhythmic sort of like noises that's not necessarily music, like creaky doors and things like that to try to make give it some rhythm.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, the difference between what you used to do and what you're planning on doing here now is that with what you used to do before, it was already set to the music.
Yeah.
The lyrics are already set to the music. The lyrics are already set, so you know which place they go into.
Well, okay.
So it's just a matter of picking the right one. Here, you've got to try. I mean, this is basically a game of Tetris here, where you got to try and make the pieces fit to make it somewhat, you know, have some sense to it.
Yes, you do bring up a good point, though. I want to be clear about this. I want people to do it in more of a spoken word style, if possible. That way, because if it's different melodies and you know, if people are singing different things, like that's going to be difficult. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, MZ, because I was going to put that in, you know, in the post, but it's important to bring up now when people start thinking about it. So I'd like it to be in like a spooky spoken word style, and then I'll piece it together and see what we can do. If you guys want to do, if people out there who are going to contribute want to do more than one take, you can do more than one take. You can do like a spooky spoken word style, and then you can sing it. And then if I can use the singing, then I will. But you don't have to sing. And I would prefer spoken word anyways to be able to try to piece it together. So yeah, we'll see.
So if I were leaving a message, I could be like, you know, welcome to my nightmare. I hear a rapping at my chamber door.
Yeah.
You know, something along.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you could take those, you know, my shit, and then like Wolfie, MZ shit.
Yep.
You know, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like take. I'm not gonna do like you know, take like a word from you and a word from you and a word from you. I'm gonna use like a whole line and then try to match them up. If I can make any of them rhyme, I might try that. But if there's, you know, I'm at the mercy of whether or not they rhyme. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it'll be fun though.
Like a ransom note.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Make like a ransom note out of it.
Yep. So that's that. Hopefully we get some folks contributing, because I'd love to see lots of contributions like we've gotten in the past. So I will once again send out the details on Discord, so anyone who wants to participate, you can keep an eye on that. Let's see. Double D says, "Goodbye Horses" by Q Lazarus is iconic in Silence of the Lambs, and the creepy dance scene by Buffalo Bill. Hell yeah. Fuck it. I actually, you know, it's funny. I actually did a cover. I've actually done a cover of that song in college when I was in music production. I did a cover of that song. I wonder if I have it. I don't know if I have it anywhere.
Oh, shit.
I have it on cassette. I don't know if I digitized it though. But I do have that.
By Monster Zero.
Yeah, I should have used my version of it on when you did your thing.
Oh. Remix. We need a new version.
Nope.
We can all do it.
What a nightmare that was.
Yeah, I
More
don't.
so for Wolfie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have my version of it digitized yet, so I'll have to go find the tape and maybe I'll show it to you guys sometime. I had like somebody like just I had a couple of buddies actually. One did like a more of a spoken word for the verses, and then my other buddy like sang the chorus. But all right, so yeah, that's that. I want to get that out of the way so that people listening live now or listening on the podcast when it drops can, start preparing some stuff. If you're going to send something in, whether it's a voice message or an intro for the Halloween introduction, if you could get them in, if it's the intro, the Halloween intro, I need that like by noon on Monday, October 30th, noon Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably start it early afternoon. And if it's voice message, just has to be in before 8 p.m. on Monday, October 30th. So there you have it. We don't have too much more time. I want to get to the film soon, but anything else you got? Oh, MZ in his intro, Raven Shadow, I think missed the intro, but he talked about real world horrors. I don't know if you heard Raven Shadow, but up in Maine, there's a fucking active shooter still. Hasn't been caught.
Apropos for the film we're discussing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a movie like this is unfortunately always relevant in this fucking country, sadly, but I didn't realize just how relevant it would be.
Right.
So up in Lewiston, Maine, there was a fucking maniac killing people. Last I saw,
confirmed dead in the bowling alley.
Yeah. Last I saw, I think there was 23 total, unless the numbers have been changed. But yeah, it's fucking insane, and it's, as MZ said in the intro, it's kind of in his backyard in a way. Like, it's miles away, but like still, it's like fuck, it's close.
Yeah.
I mean, according to noontime, I mean, I last I heard was it was 18 at noontime today, and there were reports that he was in Massachusetts or likely going to Massachusetts.
Oh wow! So there you go.
I don't know. I came back from lunch. And that's what was the buzz in the office.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Whew. So yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about that, I'm sure, during the movie. It'll be hard to avoid.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh, Double D's hanging out in the Trick or Treat Radio chat room now. He moved over there. And he says, he also says, I can't believe MZ hasn't mentioned the main theme for Dario Argento's Suspiria performed by Goblin.
I don't want to spill all the beans yet.
Spill your beans. Yeah, the Goblin definitely makes up a lot of those options that I'm sure we'll be talking about that. And Rocky's hanging out. He says, hey, Johnny Fucko, that episode of Constantine, he had to stop a college radio station from playing a demonic record. Then he fought demons to Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols. Greatest action sequence to music ever.
Oh, for real? All right, what is it, episode 3?
Yeah, episode 3, yeah.
Fucking John Constantine also was in a punk band in the 80s called Splattered Membrane. It's pretty cool. One of those old, I think it might have been the Jamie Delano books, actually printed like some lyrics. It was a lyric sheet in one of the issues. It was pretty dope.
Nice. Yeah, that's that show actually wasn't bad. Like I don't think I finished the first season for whatever reason. Like I don't know. Like I think it's at the time my DVR stopped recording it or something. For some reason I never went back and saw it. I don't know if they changed the time or something messed up with that messed the DVR up.
It was the classic a sci-fi genre related show at 8:00 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Like
horrible
and the actor
fucking
was
time.
Dope as fuck. Like
oh yeah, Matt Ryan's awesome.
And he would try to like they couldn't have him smoking, even though the gimmick is that John is a fucking bastard.
Right.
So at least he would like, they would have him in a bar and he'd put the cigarette out, or he'd go to light up, you know, and the lighter wouldn't like light.
Yeah.
And then someone would
So
call him over. He'd be like,
So he'd always go to or look like he was doing something around it, but you never actually saw him physically taking a puff.
right.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, very rarely. Like he would fit in. It's the same way with like Hugh Jackman kept throwing in Bub in lines. It wasn't, that line of dialogue was never in the X-Men script. But he would say it enough to try to get it to be, well, we'll keep this take.
Yeah.
So at least they tried to have John, you know, being John.
Yeah. I'm glad that they tried to be creative with it because, I mean, yeah. Like, that's one of those things, like, he has to smoke. Like, it's actually a major part of his storyline, like one of the best storylines ever, you know?
Right.
At least in
He's
Constantine.
the one that, right, that's his gimmick. He's the one that walks through the shadows, you know, trench coat, cigarettes, and arrogance. You know, he'll save your life, but it'll cost you your soul.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's
so
Garth
good.
Ennis.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So let me see what else we got here. Evil Corny says, that's Johnny Fuckenstein, Rocky. Go fuck yourself. Wow.
Jesus.
Wow. And Rocky says, hey there, anal corny, you self-fucking monster. What the fuck? These two.
Wow.
Those two should have a podcast. It'll be the GFY cast.
Dude. That's pretty fucking good.
There you go. You guys can pay me royalties for that.
Yeah, well, Chicken Treat Radio, maybe.
All right. So, yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're probably going to have some guest appearances. We like to try to do a little bit of a variety show style thing, but this one kind of came together late. Things have been a little hectic on my side of things. So, you know, just didn't have too much time to plan. We're not doing a whole variety show with, like, you know, short films and all these things. We'll see what we can piece together. If any of you guys out there, our listeners, know anyone with a short film, music video, music, something like that might fit in with what we're doing, by all means, send them our way, or you can send us something about it, and then we'll try to, you know, make a connection or something like that. But that would be, you know, I'd like to play some things like that, and we're going to... MC's getting sick of that tail in his face. Look, he got mad.
No, I got goddamn dogs and cats all over me.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Whose fault is that?
Well, obviously it's my fault.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna bring that up.
So you can't complain.
Yeah. Goofus.
No, he's gallant. You're Goofus.
He just gave his cat a fucking lariat, fucking running lariat.
Running lariat. Oh shit, we got there's some more chat going on. I'm so bad about checking YouTube because like there'll be no chat for weeks in YouTube because a lot of people go to the website, and then all of a sudden, like one day, there's like a ton of chat. So for people who want to make sure they get their message read in a timely manner, the best way is to go to trickortreatradio.com and click on watch live, and there's a chat room right there. So you don't have to sign up. All you have to do is just like, you can enter whatever nickname you want, or just be guest 0024905 or whatever the fuck. So that's the best way. So just letting folks know. But we do have Casual Noob Cybot. He's checking in.
Yeah, boy.
And he says, hey all, I dropped a video on YouTube and the Facebook group. Awesome.
Check that out.
So let me, I'll look and pull that up. I thought I saw that the other day. And he says something Marilyn Manson or Rob Zombie would be where I would go in terms of music. And he also says, hey, have you all ever done an episode where you have discussed a horror video game? We haven't, because it's one of those things where, like, I want to make sure we all play it, you know? And these guys don't really game. What was the last time you played a game, Raven Shadow? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you played a game, like a video game, not.
I mean, like, yeah.
Not water sports or something in your shower.
I mean, I played, like, you know, some Call of Duty with the Thoughts and Prayers years ago. I maybe
you
Spidey
played Call of
2
Duty.
What's that?
You played Call of Duty?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that in a different continuity?
Yeah, different continuity.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that.
You're probably terrible at it.
I was good. Halo, I got fucking smoked. I was pretty good at Halo too.
What about GoldenEye?
Well.
Remember we used to play GoldenEye back in the day?
Oh, GoldenEye was the shit.
Yeah, GoldenEye still is the shit.
That was great.
Yeah.
GoldenEye, fucking WWF games at the time.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2000.
Yep. WCW versus the World.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, then you had that special Japanese edition, which was dope.
Yeah.
You had the converter box.
Yep.
And I remember it was one of the first. I tell the story sometimes. It was the first time I met your brother.
Oh yeah.
And we're playing at your place. And
did he say F Goldust?
What's that?
Did he say F Goldust?
Probably did. But like I just started playing the game, and he had like the golden hammer, and I remember like he kept playing the intro to Lust for Life. And he's like, I'm gonna beat you before the chorus comes in. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking dick. In my head, I'm like, I didn't fucking know the moves yet, bro.
That's amazing.
And he kept hitting me with I've got a golden hammer. And that song would come in. I'm like, this fucking dreadlock growing motherfucker is a dick. And then I grew to remarkably love Psycho Patrick with all my heart.
Yep.
But that was my first. You were at the Denny's table eating mozzarella sticks, and your brother beating the shit out of me to fucking Lust for Life. Back in 1997.
Was that the same time that we met James Brown? Or was that a different time?
It was pre-James. I loved your brother by the time we met James Brown. Yeah.
All right. So let's... So he was asking about video games. That's right. So Raven Shadow, he doesn't play video games. MZ, when was the last time you played a video game that you can remember?
Jesus, I would say maybe. I would say at least 7 years.
Yeah.
So there you go. Casual noob. That's why. I do have time to game now and then. I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, but that's why we don't really do that. One thing I actually thought about when I was thinking about things to do for this upcoming extra special Halloween special, I had thought about doing a segment where we like do like a play along where like I play a game and you guys like comment on it. But I think technically it would be a little bit too difficult to make work so that you guys are watching it live with me while streaming live. But something like that could be fun in the future, if we can figure that out. I think that'd be kind of funny to do like a watch along or a play along as they call them for video games while you guys fucking comment or something. So yeah, that's why we haven't done horror games. I also like if I have time to play, it's maybe an hour here or there. So I lately I've been playing, I'm like months behind playing Jedi Survivor. I got it in like when it came out, like day it came out. And I literally just started it like a week and a half ago. So that's how like 4 or 5 months behind I am. So
well, you brought your Xbox, not one but the first one over the manor a lot. We played a lot of GTA.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to bring my Xbox over, and I bring Grand Theft Auto 3, I think, and we would just try to see who could get the most stars the fastest.
The most stars.
Yeah, that's all we would do. We would just like trade off. Yeah, that shit was actually pretty fun.
Although, the last time I played a video game, it was the weekend when the world fell to shit. That weekend in March,
which
for the
time?
pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Fair. But it was a weekend that we planned to have the big Maru reunion, and then it was going to tie into you boys doing your fantasy draft. So Smoke and Tie
Yeah.
and Joey Tron was going to come over that Friday night, the overall weekend.
Oh,
I'll do the
yeah.
Monday
That's
off,
right. That's right.
And then you boys were going to go up in the studio and do. I think MZ was supposed to come over, I think, on that Sunday.
Yeah.
And all the boys were going to do the fantasy baseball upstairs
that's
with
right.
Johnny on the studio cam, and I was just going to take some mushrooms and watch with Tron. But Tron did come over that one Friday night, and we played N64, and we spent like 3 hours trying to recreate our characters, hand sanitizing the controllers all the time. And then he left the next day.
Yeah. When you brought up the studio, that just triggered a memory. I was in Massachusetts a couple weeks ago for the con, for Monster Expo Con, and I was hanging out with my mom, and we drove by the old studio. You remember the studio that we used to?
Grafton?
Yeah. I mean, I meant the upstairs studio, but you're referring to our physical studio. Yeah.
Yeah, the upstairs studio.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I meant the studio in my house, but you're talking about the studio in.
I'm talking about the studio that we rented out.
Right.
Yeah. Guess what? It's not there anymore.
Really?
What?
Did they knock it down?
It's gone.
Holy shit!
They tore it down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Gone. Yeah, because it was to pull the curtain back. It was a dance studio, and we rented out the second floor of a fucking dance studio, and
a children's
children's dance studio. Yeah. Thankfully,
while little kids are dancing downstairs, we're swearing up a storm upstairs. You know?
Well, thankfully they never crossed over, because we used to do the show back then at 9, and they would leave at by 8 p.m. I think they were out of there. Because it's funny, I actually knew one of the teachers. Like I worked with her years prior, and I walked in one day, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So, yeah, it was
she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, "What the fuck?" That's sad, actually. I didn't know that.
It was so scary there at night.
It's a good thing. Yeah, it was kind of scary. It's a good thing we weren't still there.
Well, I'm sure the studio probably once
we stopped paying
happened.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
We did, yeah.
I was gonna say once we stopped paying, they couldn't pay the bills anymore.
Yeah, right. Another trick or treat radio money coming in.
Yeah, right. The lucrative business that it is.
Yeah.
And fucking, oh shit! It's like when fucking, I don't know what's the big thing that closes. Oh, when McDonald's closes, it's fucked up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to head to the break in just a moment because I want to get to the movie. But we had just real quick Coffin Corner, MZ. I know someone passed, not necessarily horror adjacent, but Richard Roundtree, the great Richard Roundtree, passed away this week. So I wanted to give you a little platform here, MZ, if you wanted to say anything.
Well, he did have a little bit of horror going for him. He was in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forget he was in that.
Yeah. He was, probably the most notable horror movie that he was in. But, one of the kings of the blaxploitation genre back in the 70s.
Yep.
Fucking Shaft, man.
I mean, he was a good actor. That's the thing. And
he was.
I saw him back in 2015 at Scaricon when I went up to New York.
Oh, yeah.
He was up there, and I saw him, and I wanted to get his autograph because I'm like, shit, man, Shaft right in front of me, man. And but I didn't. Ultimately, I wish I did. But yeah, his career lasted a good long time. And wow, what else was he in? He was in
Original Gangsters. I mean, well,
he was in he was in Seven. He also had a small role in Seven, I think.
Oh, he was in Maniac Cop too. I didn't know
And
his.
Maniac Cop.
I haven't seen that in so long. Angel 3, the final chapter.
oh shit, was she the schoolgirl by day, hooker by night?
I don't
Yes.
remember if that was the one. Oh,
Angel,
he was in.
Angel, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Angel. I love
He was
that
in
goddamn.
Amityville: A New Generation in '93.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right.
Yo.
He was in 7. Yeah, I forgot about that. Holy shit.
If your house is possessed, Richard Roundtree shows up, that fucking ghost is leaving, dog.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
Yeah. Like, oh, we got to go.
Shit.
And he also did this movie that I just saw just a few months ago for the first time. I've always wanted to see it. It's called Boss, but that's not the complete title.
No, it's not. I think I know of that movie.
Yeah,
Oh, Boss
Boss.
and yeah.
Boss. Yeah. And it's on Blu-ray and DVD, just released as Boss though, not the full title. Although the movie that I saw, the cut that I saw, had the full title, along with that kick-ass soundtrack. It has a kick-ass theme song. It's really cool. It's got a good beat. You could dance to it, you know.
Richard
and
Roundtree
that
was
was-
also in a movie called Haunting of the Mary Celeste from 2020. It was just sort of like vertical entertainment, so it was kind of a low budget. But
Wait,
Was it-
The Haunting of the
also in
Mama Celeste?
VFW. He was in VFW, wasn't he?
Yeah.
no,
No.
I don't think he was in that.
I thought it was.
Another.
Was it Steve James?
No, Steve James unfortunately passed.
Oh, he was gone
way
for
too soon.
Yeah. You're right.
Was it? Was it Roundtree?
Fred
Was
is
it
Fred Williamson.
Fred Williamson?
Yeah, I'm looking at it
Fred.
right now. Yeah.
Hammer.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of. Never mind about the Boss N-word thing.
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Yeah, Fred Williamson is.
Fred
yeah.
Williamson.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind. He wasn't in that one. All right. I'm getting it confused. Oh wait, why am I getting Fred Williamson and Richard Roundtree mixed up?
Because you're only digging yourself into a hole.
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just shut up.
I probably would stop now.
Richard Roundtree was in the Hollywood Squares though for 4 years. He had a recurring
shit.
role from 72 to 76.
So was Paul Lind in that one?
I don't know, 72 to 76.
That's that sounds like prime Paul Lind.
Oh.
years.
He was also in Roots, the TV miniseries.
Mhm.
The Love Boat. He was in 2 episodes of The Love Boat. He was in Chips. He was in Magnum PI. Let's see. The New Hollywood Squares. He played himself on that
With Jim J. Bullock, probably in the Paul
from
Lind role.
1987. So whatever. Was that Jim J?
Like-
I don't remember. He's in 21 Jump Street, MacGyver, Fresh Prince of
Did a lot
Bel Air,
TV. Yeah.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man, Kelly had a fucking awakening that day. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, dude is a legend. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, hashtag ledge.
and his first Shaft was essentially his breakthrough. Like he had one other role. In 1970, he was in something called "What Do You Say to a Naked Lady," and
Thank you.
his role was interracial couple. That's what it says.
Wait, he was both roles?
I don't know. What Do You Say to a Naked Lady is a 1970 American hidden camera style reality film directed by candid
Jesus.
camera creator Alan Funt. Holy shit.
Oh shit!
Alan fucking Funt.
Alan Funt from Candy Camp.
That's a name I haven't heard in a that's a
long
name I
time.
haven't heard in a long time.
A long time.
It says Funt secretly recorded people's reactions to unexpected encounters with nudity or sexuality in unusual situations.
Bro,
while the film does contain some titillating material in both male and female full frontal nudity, Raven Shadow, equal
Dude.
opportunity full frontal,
Love that.
a large amount of the film involves Funt talking to people about sexuality and sexual topics, whereas Funt's other productions had to fall within FCC guidelines prohibiting nudity and sexual content on the airwaves. This film was outside the FCC's jurisdiction, and Funt was free to incorporate them into the film. In the U.S., the film was originally rated X, and an edited version was rated R in 1982. So there you go. Yeah, the film was released on VHS in the 80s, and a DVD was released in 2011.
Be right back. We should do that for the Halloween special instead. I know all this editing you want to do, but I think we could really keep it simple and just watch Richard Roundtree and Full
And what do you
Frontal.
say to a naked lady?
Yeah, normally I say thank you.
See Richard Roundtree and his round tree.
Oh wow.
So that's something. But yeah, that was his first role, and then after that, he got the role of Shaft. How about that, huh?
Well, because he always just full frontal nudity.
He hadn't even done TV. Like Shaft was his first fucking movie. Like that's crazy.
And he
That's
gets-
awesome.
And not only does he get the starring role, but it's also the titular role.
Yeah, exactly.
That's big news.
Oh shit. Evil Corny corrected MZ now. Everyone's correcting everybody. He said that was Fred Williamson from Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh man,
You're
why
confusing.
am I thinking it's? Why am
You
I
know why?
confusing Fred Williamson and Richard Roundtree? What the hell's the matter? Was Richard Roundtree in Seven?
Yes, he was in
Was it?
7. Though,
All right,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
At least I got that part right. Jeez.
Yes, because Carl Weathers was great. Empire Strikes Back, and
Oh God!
Billy
No,
Dee Williams was
no,
awesome
no,
in Action Jackson.
no.
Urkel was really good in The Predator.
Fuck off.
Rocky says Raven Shadow's outside the studio selling kids loose smokes, and MZ has a van with duct tape windows parked in the alley. Good times.
Yeah, right.
Rocky said, "Go funt yourself."
That would be a great podcast. Fun
Go
yourself.
fuck yourself.
Funt.
I kind of like go Alan funt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Alan. Why don't you go
Yeah.
Alan?
Is it better with the Alan or without?
No, without.
Go funt yourself.
I mean, where else do you know the word "funt" other than Alan Funt?
I don't know.
I don't think anybody under 45 knows who Alan Funt is.
And even then, it's that's
Yeah.
that's tough.
Like,
Yeah.
probably El Goro.
He
Nobody
may not.
brings up Alan Funt.
He may
anymore.
not even know who Alan Funt is.
Yeah.
He's like 10 years younger than us, I think. All right. So we said we're going to wrap up, and then we didn't. But now we are going to wrap up. So if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. The best way, as we mentioned earlier, is through Patreon. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. Even if you don't have any extra cash to support, you can just follow us because now Patreon allows free followers, and it allows you to sort of like keep up to date with what's going on over there. And if we get more followers there, we might eventually start utilizing it more frequently because I feel like right now our connection to a lot of people is through Facebook, and more like people are using Facebook less and less, and you know I think they have a real sort of like problem retaining people because a lot of people are just moving on to other things, and maybe they prefer TikTok like MZ. That's MZ's fucking bag now. But it's a different thing. You know, it's like you don't have the interaction that you do. You don't have the ability to comment and see everyone's things.
Right.
It's just videos. But anyways, like, you know, I feel like eventually it's going to go away, and then everyone's going to scatter to the winds, and nobody's going to know how to like keep up with anyone else. So I think what Patreon's doing is pretty awesome in trying to allow people to keep tabs on their favorite creators and things like that. So if you guys haven't already followed us, it's free to follow us on Patreon. Go to patreon.trickortreatradio.com. And if you don't have any funds, just follow us. And then from, you know, like right now we're not really, like, we post a couple things a month, so it's not, you know, you're not going to be inundated with posts on there. And if it's effective, we might use it a little bit more. But we have Discord for chats and things like that. So we're trying to move away from just Facebook and, you know, start using some other platforms that are better utilized for, you know, for that stuff. And also on Discord, I want to say that Discord has like a sort of like a forum option. So I don't know if MZ knows about forums. He used to go on the Fango forums back in the day. That's where he met his lady and a few other people that he's friends with still to this day. And you know, the days of forums were fun, and that sort of sort of turned into Facebook and Twitter and things like that. But yeah, our Discord channel has the ability to create forums like that, and I've done that with a few of the topics. So, for instance, like just the other day, Carlitos was utilizing it and posted a link to the horror indie showcase. So, for speaking of earlier, Casual Noob had mentioned horror games. If you guys are interested in that sort of thing, you can check out Carlitos posted that. So we have a whole discussion forum for movie trailers, for spoiler discussion, for gaming, and then just like, what are you currently watching? And the other day, Carlitos also posted Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. He was watching that one. So, and he gave his thoughts on that. So yeah, it's actually super. I really like it, and it makes for some great conversations. So give that a look. You guys can join the Discord. It's linked through the show notes. So wherever you're listening to this podcast, just look through the show notes, and you will see a link to our Discord. You can join that, or if you are a Patreon supporter, you automatically get added. You should get an invite to it. So that's another way to do that. That's why I wanted to bring that up. So give that a look, and you can help support on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. And like I said, if you don't have any funds this month, just feel free to sign up and follow us for free. And eventually down the road, if you do want to support, you have that option. And if you don't, you can just stay a free supporter, and we're totally cool with that. And we do have a couple Patreon takeovers to get to for the rest of this year. So I'm going to I've already touched base with one person, and I'm going to touch base with the other. And we will get those booked and get them on the calendar before the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that if you haven't had yours yet. And yeah, so patreon.trickortreatradio.com is the best way to support, best way to follow. Also, if you go to trickortreatradio.com, you can scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click on the Amazon logo. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost any extra, Michael Ravenshadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That is correct. So you can do that. And finally, on trickortreatradio.com, you can click on the store. It's going to bring you to our digital storefront. And from there, you can go ahead and buy the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio Volumes 1 through 3. It's a nice little sampler of the first few years of Trick or Treat Radio. We've been doing it for over 11 years. If you haven't heard some of the early stuff, you can go check that out. Each one is roughly about 90 minutes and includes highlights, lowlights, midlights. We got some of the songs. We got some of the interviews, some of the arguments. It's a nice little sampler of the early days if you guys haven't heard that yet. And let me see, Casual Noob, he says, with PS5 screen share, you can play a game while non-gamers can watch and interact. I have an idea for a Patreon takeover for that if you ever have a moment on Discord voice to chat to discuss. The people who watch... What's that,
Producer Noob Sidebar. That
I thought you were going to say
boy.
Juice Newton for a second there.
Juice Newton, my man. Producer Noob.
So, Casual Noob, I don't have a PS5. I have a Xbox Series S, and I mostly just play PC games, so that's kind of my bag. He says the people who watch the screen share can watch gameplay through the PS app on a device with a PS account. Yeah. Sorry, Noob, that'll be a problem for Raven Shadow.
I'm trying.
And maybe even
I have my
MZ,
own-
but definitely Raven Shadow. So
Yeah.
we'll try to figure something out, Casual Noob, if you have an idea for a takeover there with
Yeah.
something like that. Because games are cool with you streaming them as opposed to like movies. Like I don't, movies don't like you streaming them, but games. That's actually one of the really cool interactive things about games is people go on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or whatever.
See, that would be fun. I would love some kind of like if we could figure out, and
You'd-
someone could do it really, make it simple for me. If we could do some kind of like play along, like fucking
Well,
thing.
you could
that be
potentially
fun.
do it. See, the thing is, we'll have to figure it out. I mean, you might have to do it on like where on one device. I don't know, not different devices necessarily, but like if we stream, you can stream on Discord. You can stream video on Discord live. So maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll try to see if we can talk to Casual Noob and figure something out. All right, that is it for the intro. So, Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch Night of the Hunted. What do you do to prepare for this movie? I don't know if anything can prepare you for this movie, but what do you do?
I mean, I could share. I did have something like a life thing the other day. I'm finding out that
You're pregnant?
it's a, I mean, yes, it's gonna be a podcast soon. Look at him.
This kicks like a soccer player.
He's gonna be a soccer player. Actually, I do. I am looking more and more like Edgar Renteria. It's not good. I gotta do a sit up or something.
One sit up.
Yeah. How many sit-ups you gotta do, Wolfie?
Well, it's however many you can do. You get better though.
Yeah, I see.
Do like one tomorrow. Maybe you
right.
can do two the next day.
See, that's the kind of support
Maybe
I
next
need,
week
like,
you can do 5. Maybe.
Shit. Let's
Maybe in a month
slow it
you can
down.
do 10
Holy shit.
with Reverend Scott.
So I find out my eye doctor is leaving the practice, right?
Yep.
So, and I'm like, all right, so, where you going? She's like, oh, I can't, I'm legally,
Right,
I
they
can't
can't say
say
that shit,
anything.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, listen, I'm like, not
I'll
for
find
nothing,
you.
bud. I'm Italian and we don't rat. So if you were to tell me something, I wouldn't say nothing.
Italians don't rat.
And she's like,
That would
yeah,
make
we don't
that would
rat.
make a show like The Sopranos very different, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't. Yeah, eventually it ended. That's why. But I'm reading some of the lines, and I'm like, all right. So basically, finds out I got to have eye surgery next year.
Oh man, really? Is it LASIK or something
wow.
else?
No, not LASIK. It's cataract surgery.
Oh man.
Cataract.
So
Wow.
yeah. But suppose that really helped. Overall, it's really going to be positive early on. So I do a gimmick where I'm like, all right, so
Do
if
a
I were to
gimmick.
Cataract.
I can do that.
Talking to is doing a
surgery
gimmick, talking to his doctor. That's what this is about.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of the Stone Cold podcast and the Kevin Nash Click This, and they use gimmicks like nouns and verbs, so that's why. But I'm like, all right, so listen, if I were to log on a website on 1/1/2024 and be able to find the best provider for what I need, would I be able to maybe find? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. So, but yeah, so early next year I'll be getting some surgery. It's gonna be weird, but it should really improve a lot of stuff, and I should be able to see across the street and read again.
Jesus Christ.
Are you gonna wear like eye patches or?
I suppose it's a 10-minute surgery. That I might even need. They put weird fucking implants and shit in there. It's fucked up. But I might even need my glasses less, quite frankly.
So we're gonna be seeing. So you'll be doing the show without your glasses pretty soon, then, huh?
Nope.
No, I look fucking cool in sunglasses.
Yeah, he
And
thinks he
have
looks
those-
badass, so
And
no.
have those beady little eyes staring back at us.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's not good for anybody.
The glasses is a good look for you. Don't take them off. You got these beady little eyes.
Wow.
They're
Wow.
like the size of raisins. He's got these. You take off your glasses. Show
No,
the world your eyes.
Listen, my eye doctor has often said that my eyes are so dark, like people can just like swim in them. It's like two little oval mud bogs because they're so brown and dark and mysterious. So aside from Monster Zero pupil shaming me, I'm excited about some positive ocular resolution.
Pupil
So you better
shaming.
believe. Yeah, fucking pupil shame me, bro. So you better believe I strapped on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants,
Quoting video games that don't have dialogues,
shabibans,
tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify,
I'm Alex
Stitcher, or
West.
search
I'm
for
Andrea
tab-
Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your host, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action,
horror,
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
And we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And we are going to talk about a movie. Let me pull up the deets. We're going to talk about, no, not Constantine. I navigated to the Constantine IMDb page when we were talking. We're going to be talking about Night of the Hunted. And this film is 95 minutes. It is from 2023, a horror thriller that is a Shudder original. So you can find the streaming on Shudder right now, or AMC Plus, I guess. I guess they're the same thing, but you can get them separately. I don't really understand how that works. But it is directed by Frank Calhoun, and it is written by Ruben Calvo, Glenn Fryer, and Frank Calhoun. And I did notice that Alexander Aja was one of the producers on this. Did you see that, MZ? Or Aja? Is it Aja or Aja? I forget.
I think it's Aja.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool because Alexander Aja has done some pretty cool stuff over the years, and the film stars Camille Rowe as Alice. And let's see, I mean, it's really just Alice. We have Monea Abdalrahim as Cindy, the girl at the end, and John Beeler as Doug. I think if I'm not mistaken, he was the one that came into the store. And then Jeremy Scipio as John, who was riding with Alice at the beginning of the movie here.
Okay.
And the synopsis for this one: when an unsuspecting woman stops at a remote gas station in the dead of night, she's made the plaything of a sociopath sniper with a secret vendetta. To survive, she must not only dodge his bullets and fight for her life, but also figure out who wants her dead and why. So this is a horror thriller, and as I mentioned, it is streaming on Shudder. So we went over it real quick, but Frank Calhoun, he directed the Maniac remake from 2012, which, if I recall correctly, was very well received by us. One of the few remakes that does something different and cool without deviating too far from the original and not doing like a direct fucking copy remake of the original too. Like, I feel like it sort of like hit that balance. Do you guys have any recollection of your thoughts on that? It was a while ago. It was like episode 50 or something like that, I think.
Maniac?
Yeah.
I remember finally there was a remake that was actually worthy of the original. Yep. And that's a rare feat in and of itself, given the time that it came out and the amount of remakes that have come out during, before that time. Just a slew of remakes, and none of them could hold a candle to the originals. Very few can. And this is one of them that can hold that candle. And it might, thinking off the top of my head right now, it might be the last one that can actually make that claim. It's inventive. It's still got it as clean as the film is. It still has that certain grit to it that the original had. It makes a nice callback to the original poster, so that they're not afraid to wear that patch on their sleeve. Wonderfully acted. And the format in which it took was very inventive as well. It was certainly a different take on the Maniac story, and they took the ball and they ran with it, and they did a great job.
Yeah, I think it makes.
That was kind of Elijah Wood's first journey into like.
Well, Rimshot, I took a sip of my smoothie when you started talking, so.
I'm sorry, but
go ahead. I was letting you talk.
Oh no, maybe it was a glitch. But it was kind of like Elijah Wood's one of his first kind of journey into like real horror, right? Like, and wasn't the gimmick you only saw his face in mirrors?
Yeah, because it was taken from his point of view.
Yeah,
is that the gimmick, Raven Shadow?
I think so. All the gimmick mirrors.
So yeah, I don't want to talk too much about Maniac. I think the cool thing about that film, though, is that it actually makes for a really cool double feature with the original. I think it's different enough where it feels like a different film. So it's not a sequel. It's in no way, but I feel like they complement each other very well. So I would say that that's actually a really good double feature if someone were to do that. If you were looking for something to do on Halloween night or something, you're looking for was it Maniac was it 1981 MZ, I think?
Maniac, the original came out in 80.
80, okay. So 1980 Maniac with fucking Joe Spinell, fucking Carolyn Monroe, right?
And it's Joe Spinell's birthday today.
Oh, look at that.
Happy birthday, Joe Spinell.
Rest in peace, Joe.
Man, should still be with us, god damn it.
That movie, if you guys haven't seen Maniac from 1980, you gotta see it. It's fucking brutal and amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of Shotgun Blues.
Some of the best work that Tom Savini's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
That
and
guy
he's,
really
and he's
died,
in it.
right? That was a real shotgun.
That's him.
Right. They really shot him in the face. That's why he's no longer with us. They
No.
shot him in the face for real.
Tom Savini's with us. That was him, though. But yeah, that movie is outstanding. So if directed by William Lustig, if you haven't seen it, check it out. And also check out the remake because it's really, really good, really well done. And it's a great way to do a modern remake. And also the music was it Rob, I think, right? The music was great. I remember really digging that. So there you go. Something to do if you haven't seen either of those. Check them both out. Make a double feature of it. And we actually did that. We did a double feature of it back. Let me find.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Over 10 years
It
ago.
was. Oh yeah.
Maybe 9 years ago.
Or 2014.
It was 2013, episode 51. We did both Maniac. So if you guys want to go back, I don't know how good that episode is, but I'm pretty sure Bill by Force was with us for that, or maybe I don't know if Mr. Chris was there too, but
Someone
definitely
was with
Bill.
us, I remember that.
I know Bill was there for sure. So episode 51, Maniac, and the Maniac remake, if you want to do that. But anyways, let's talk about the cast. Camille Rowe. She looked vaguely familiar to me, but I don't. Oh, you know what? Okay, we did see her in one thing. She was in that movie, The Deep House. That was the haunted house underwater. You guys remember that movie?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So she was in that. I don't really like. She looked familiar to me, like almost as if I'd seen her in a few movies, but that was the only one that I had seen her in that I'm aware of. But she was in another movie called Knuckle Dust.
She had a vibe with that girl who was in The Girl Next Door, that like early 2000 comedy thing where they thought the neighbor was a porn star, I think.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Elijah Cutthroat or something, Elijah something like.
I got a bit of a Samara Weaving vibe, a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
From Ready or Not, that girl.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of that vibe, but yeah, I never, aside from The Deep House, which I don't remember her performance very well in that. This film clearly hinged on her performance because it is 97% her on screen.
Yeah,
maybe 90.
Sure.
Yeah, like close to 97%.
Yeah, essentially it was Colin Farrell in the phone booth.
Yeah, or like what's his fucking Locke?
Locke. With,
he played.
Bane.
Yeah, he played
Thomas
Bronson. Tom Hardy. Yeah, Tom Hardy. So yeah, it was this film hinged on her performance, and we'll get into the performance, but it's all her. And there's a dude talking on a walkie-talkie for a bit, and there's a couple other people that appear here and there. But other than that, it's like literally 97% Camille Rowe. And I thought, for someone I hadn't seen very much of, this seemed like a lot of responsibility for someone who hasn't been in a lot of, well, she's been in a decent amount of films, but like nothing like this. I don't know that she's had a performance like this, and it's kind of a physically demanding performance as well. I would say. So we'll get into the performance in a bit, but I just wanted to bring her up and mention where we might know her from. And let's see, what else is there? I think that's all I was going to mention up front here. Let me just see if there's anyone else on the cast and crew that might. So Alexandra Aja was producer, and music by Matthew Caratier. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, it looks like he did the I Lived score for the Frank Calhoun film. So, all right, let's dive in. Let's talk about some first impressions. This film obviously is very relevant to what's going on in the world today, literally today. Yesterday on October 25th, 26th. MZ talked about it in the intro. There is an active shooter in Maine who has killed many people. You know what? I know MZ doesn't like when I get political, and I'm going to try not to get too political, but there is a real fucking problem in this country, and it needs to be solved. And it is to the point where I don't like living in this country. Got to be honest. Like, it makes me not want to live in this country because nothing's going to be done about it. We know that. What's it going to take? What's it going to take? Like, this sort of thing, like, people will call out and say, oh, well, it's a mental health issue. You know what? Every fucking country in this world has mental health problems.
Right.
Not every country has the gun problems that we have here. So say what you want. It's a gun problem. Like, if the access wasn't so easy, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. That's fucking what it comes down to.
It's an American. I mean,
It is. It's an American problem.
Because first of all, it's sad and embarrassing, tragic, all that shit. But like, it's not. It's fucking. Is it because we're so? People have said it before. Like, we're still like the new kids on the block, right? Like, cowboys.
Well, I mean, this country was built on the illusion of freedom, right? Like,
right.
It's an illusion. Because, I mean, what is freedom? Like, it actually says it in this movie. Like, he says freedom, what is it? Like, freedom is when you no longer have anything to lose, I think, or something like that. I think is what the dialogue was.
Right, from the great Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
That he's quoting.
But
it's like, for a country built on freedom, give us you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor. After fucking Columbus got fucking lost, was a fucking privateer for Spain, didn't find fucking India. You know, shit like that, but whatever the fuck. But like, we gotta stop. Are they responsible gun owners? Of course. But there's a fucking problem that I'm not smart enough to solve. But we gotta fucking stop, gang. We gotta fucking stop this shit.
So I don't want to go on a diatribe. I don't want to go too deep into it because we're gonna have to talk about it in this movie. But it is an American problem. It is very much an American problem. This sort of thing doesn't happen in other countries. Maybe I'm sure there's some fucking countries out there in which it does, but most civilized countries, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, like Japan, like, these things don't fucking happen. So it's exclusive to America, and I don't have any faith that it'll ever be solved in our lifetimes, which fucking sucks. But people just don't need to worry about going to the fucking store and dying or going to school and dying. It's just not something that needs to happen. So, all right, well, I'm going to get off that for now. Let's talk about the movie. I'm sure it'll come up during the course of the movie, but and MZ, like, literally, like, he is going through a situation right now where there is an active shooter within a small enough radius from his house that he might have to be concerned. You know?
And quite frankly, is this the first time it's been in the New England area?
No. Sandy Hook was Connecticut.
Oh shit! Yeah.
which is one of the first and worst. Like, God damn it, it's just gonna make me mad. So,
I know. Well, it's yeah.
but it's something that's real. Like MZ is literally feeling the effects of it right now, like as we're talking about this movie. So I know no one listening to the show is in any position to do anything, but you know, it's just something to get out there and vent about here and there. But let's dive in.
We have to address it because it's so fucking topical in general, but it literally happened recently. So I think we had to say something.
Absolutely. So let's dive in. Let's talk about the movie and first impressions. So coming in, all I knew, Frank Calhoun, something about a sniper. That's kind of all I knew. And I was curious to see what he was going to do with this because, like I said, I really love the Maniac remake. And I was curious to see what he was going to do with kind of a basic premise. And this is definitely a basic premise. This is like a one note, like thing. But what he does with the tension, I feel is really fucking good. We'll get into some of the nitty gritty. It's not a perfect movie, I don't think. But like the tension that he's able to build in this, I think is really well done. And I think he does a movie that like it doesn't necessarily take a side, but you can see it. It's done in a way where you can see both sides. And if you're on one side or the other, you will be like, yes, that person is speaking my language. So in a way, it presents it for both sides, but in a way, it kind of shows you I think like what the reasonable side is of that, because you see what happens and all that. So it's not like Dashboard or Dashcam where it was like this one fucking like conservative maniac running nuts and just spewing bullshit and no counterpoint. This was kind of got to see both sides without necessarily picking a side. Although I guess you could say maybe by the end there is sort of a side that's picked, but I feel like presents it in a way that is intelligent and thoughtful without being preachy. And so for that, I think that's a pretty good success, along with the tension that was being built in this. I thought there were some moments where I was really fucking on edge, and that doesn't happen very often in watching movies, especially at home. In the theater, it's a lot easier to sort of get invested, but watching them at home, sometimes it can be more challenging. So, so that's, I guess that's my first impression. We'll dive into some of the nitty gritty a little bit later, but, one of you guys feel free to dive in.
Yeah. When I was watching this, when it ended, I switched over to regular TV, and that's when I saw the shit going down. I'm like, oh man.
Wow.
This is that's fucked up. Really?
That's like fucking. Yeah, that's reality imitating art.
Of it. Yeah. There was no news of it going on when I started.
Where's Tom with the weather? Oh fuck!
That's when it was all hitting the fan, So it was kind of an unusual and rather surreal moment going on for me. What the director does here is very interesting and toes that line, and it's a very thin line because if you start to waver towards one side of that line, that other end is going to start getting pissed off, and vice versa. The line here is towed so that you get both sides, and it's just like what Wolfie said. You get both sides, and they both make sense. It's just a matter of which side you personally happen to be on. Which will indicate as to who you're going to be rooting for in this movie. But it's done with a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension in this movie. And I felt that because of what I'm dealing with right now, it's kind of lingering in my head as to, about this movie and what's going on here. It's just a very surreal moment for me right now,
Yeah.
But it's, and also just to prove that, yeah, you know what, it might be a work of fiction, but work of fiction can come true. So, it's an unusual feeling right now, but as far as the movie goes, the director is able to toe that line very, very well, and give equal time to each side, so you get to decide for yourself. But in the end, it's really not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about who lives and who dies. So, and that's a bit of a stronger point that this film is making. But as I said, it's a very surreal moment for me right now, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
How about you, Raven Shadow?
So, I mean, I know this is not a criticism to anything we've said. I just personally struggle with the idea of which side is right and which side is wrong. I think there's clearly a side that's wrong in this. Are there motivations?
Oh, well, I do too, but yeah. What I mean is the
I just
movie
struggle with
doesn't
that even being
okay.
a question. I get for the conversation, but there clearly is a right side and a wrong side. I didn't know shit about this movie aside from it's a runtime that fits in my wheelhouse. It's my good runtime. As the film opens, girl talking to her husband, find out dude in the shower. Okay, the co-workers, they stop over. In the first 15 minutes, when that first bullet comes in, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And now I'm locked in. And if I know VHS 85 has had a lot of criticism on various podcasts, and we discussed it. But I thought the gun scene in that movie was very, very powerful as well. And even like I said, I did go shoot some handguns with a friend over the summertime, who is a responsible gun owner. But I had never shot these kind of guns before. On a target range, safe conditions, you really feel the power. Not power of like I'm king of the world, but power of what this tool or mechanism can do. And that's just from a very controlled setting. And you really but when you see it in real life, like, or not real life, in film, the destructive nature of it, and you feel it. You're in there, and art imitates life and vice versa. But like, I didn't know where the fuck this movie was going, and I was locked in. It was a total surprise for me, and it just shows the destructive power that can be wielded in the wrong hands.
Yeah, and also just how easy it is, right?
Right. And that's even like not having training or skill,
Yeah. I mean, sure, like to be accurate with a sniper, you definitely need training, you need practice and whatever with a sniper rifle. But like,
right.
What I mean is like, it's so cowardly, right? Like to sit,
thank you.
Yeah. To sit on a fucking billboard across the street and just fucking pick people off.
In a tactical battle, that's a different fucking story. You're tactically, you're in combat. I'm too funny to carry a gun. You wouldn't know it from this show, but I think I'm fairly funny. I'm not a fucking gun guy.
At least someone does.
Yeah.
Right, someone out there. I think maybe Corny does a little bit. But like, I'm be all you can be. All I can be is asleep, bro. I'm not a tactical guy, but you're fucking. I'm holding back my words, but yeah, it's great to have a box full of fucking ammo and hiding people. You fucking. I'm holding back saying a word, but like.
Say coward.
Coward.
Yeah.
Coward.
Say it.
You're a fucking coward. Punta. Sorry.
You sound like a punta.
Oh my ears are burning.
If Raven Shadow was a football player, he'd be a punta.
Yeah, be a punta. And now, number 34.
Now puntaing for the New England.
The way things are going, bro. Bring back Brady. But yeah, you fucking coward. Who's next, Johnny?
Marion says, "Hey, I'm babysitting the dog."
She is.
Thank you, Marion.
She's babysitting Ollie.
Why don't you just get a fucking papoose for Ollie? Like you can just wear him around your neck. You get a little thing for him and hang out.
I do want to get a little Empire Strikes Back gimmick so we can run around and do flips in the woods.
Yeah, you ain't doing a fucking flip. I'd fear for Ollie's life if you tried one.
I could lift my Hyundai when I get stuck in the snow.
Oh, you know what? I just played the very beginning of the movie, and the very first shot is something I didn't make a connection. Did you guys? The connection is it shows the perspective from inside somebody's car, and you can see a dog tag on their rearview mirror.
Oh yeah,
that's the opening shot.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I just didn't. I mean, I saw the movie, but I didn't make the connection because you don't know until later. Like, so that's interesting. Okay, I was just looking up one thing on it, and I happened to see that. So, all right, well, let's dive in. We've already sort of talked about some first impressions, some ideas about this. Let's talk about the performance because, once again, Camille Rowe's performance is make or break. If it doesn't work, this movie doesn't work. If it does work, then this movie is going to be infinitely better for it. So, what would you guys say about the performance?
I thought she was fantastic. I think she was very real. I think she handled the situations that were presented to her in a very real manner, and her reactions were genuine. Her emotions were genuine. She covered all the bases between joy and relief and sorrow, sadness, anger, desperation, all these things, and desperation not just in the situation that she's in as far as the sniper is concerned, but other areas as well. Hope and I mean, she hit basically every possible emotion that you could possibly hit in a movie in a single performance, and to varying degrees and at varying times. They weren't all equaled out for obvious reasons, and she did a fantastic job. She did a great job. I mean, I think everyone else did a great job too. I thought the people that she ended up encountering, not just on the walkie-talkie, but also in face-to-face, I thought was good. Everyone held their own in this movie, and outside of her, the sniper, and maybe one or two other people, everyone else sort of, I don't want to say they felt like a throwaway character. They weren't. They there was an importance involved.
Yeah,
but
it just wasn't important for them to shine. They were just playing a part, right?
Well, they were just playing a part, but I think that even as small and I don't want to say menial, but because they are important, like I said, I just think they did it. They held their own,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
of wonder and of confusion. It just tapped into every emotion, and you felt that emotion with everybody that's entering into this film because of this one person that's ready to snuff them out at a moment's notice. And that's the other thing that I enjoyed. I really like this part is the billboard.
Oh yeah, right.
Where they kept on showing God. Yeah, they kept on showing that God is nowhere, but actually, and this might be, I don't know. I was reading it as God is now here.
It's both. That's the gimmick.
Yeah, and
that's the
it's
gimmick.
A double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword with the sniper, because you could say that God is nowhere with the sniper because the sniper is taking out people, or you could say God is now here because he is playing. He
is
the sniper
God
himself is being God, and he's deciding as to who lives and who dies.
Yep.
And I thought that was pretty killer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think that worked, and it sort of speaks to the duality of the story. And so, without giving anything away, I don't. This is not a spoiler, but Alice works in pharmaceutical, and she does like social media for a pharmaceutical company. So you could very easily argue, and I would probably argue for it, that the pharmaceutical companies are the fucking devil too. Like, it's in this, once again, in this country, it sort of like highlights two of our biggest issues. Pharmaceutical companies and the grip they have on the American public, and gun control. Like, these are two very big issues in this country. And I mean, I don't want to get too much into pharmaceutical companies, because it's not necessarily cut and dry, because there is inherently good in it, but it's the greed that is associated with it that is the evil part. Also, go ahead, Raven. Go ahead.
Yes. It's fucked up. It's fucked up that medication that can keep somebody alive is $200 a month, and some prescriptions are $1.95 a month. It's fucked up. It's fucked up that health insurance is a racket. It's essentially legalized protection.
Yeah,
it's like the
it
mafia.
is. Yeah,
it's like, something may happen to you. You don't pay some money, you might get your leg broken. It might be a fucking bad day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What if home insurance, car
Raven
insurance?
Shadow you need to start the Italian insurance agency, the IIA.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know about
you got
but you're making a
problems?
fucking cough. What are you gonna do? I may come back next week and maybe your fucking back's broken. I don't fucking know. Give me fucking a copay, motherfucker. Like, it's
you're gonna be kissing my Louisville Slugger, you motherfucker. That's what you're gonna be doing.
I'm gonna send over Frankie the mail. I got a light envelope over here. You looking kind of peaked, motherfucker. Like.
This is Tony the Fish and Randy the Aardvark.
Yeah, I got Louis the Mallet coming over. Frankie the Spatula. It's legalized protection money. Hey, you may get sick. I don't know. Might be a high fucking deductible. I'd rather have the mafia do my health insurance, quite frankly. They'd fucking be honest with you.
I'd rather have the mafia do your film review.
But going in though, opening scene 2, like, she's FaceTiming or talking to her husband. I forget what it was, brushing her teeth. And the minute I'm coming home soon, the minute that shower curtain opens, you're like, oh, really? It's a different kind of movie that when she gets to the convenience store. And when the bullets start flying, she has to change from going home, dealing with what she's dealing with, to fucking
Survival.
down being fucking shot at.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to comment a little bit more on the pharmaceutical thing. So to a lot of people, they are like, that's like the biggest corporate greed.
Okay.
And so, I mean, Raven Shadow might have some insight into some of this, but a lot of times, another thing in this country is that we basically, I mean, the healthcare system, I don't want to talk too much about it. That's another like slippery slope, but
right.
It's a lot of times it's not preventative. It's like reactionary, where something happens and then, oh, well, take this, and take that, and then, so now you're paying all this money to the pharmaceutical companies, and they're the ones that like pharmaceutical companies and fucking the NRA are like two of the biggest, if not the biggest, lobbying forces in the government here. And they're the ones that pay, politicians to get shit done. And they're essentially the gods, if you will,
And yeah, there's a great line when the person on the walkie-talkie was talking about that shit, and I forget what's the main character's name? Is it Annie?
Alice.
Amy? Alice. I'm sorry. She's like, but what about the fucking good? I mean, not for nothing. Despite the fucking crazy fucking cost inflation weirdness, medicine does fucking keep people fucking alive. I would rather have medicine now than, even though it would be awesome when they just prescribed cocaine. I'd like to get some of that. But end of the day, medicine does help you. You know why I don't have polio? Because I have a fucking vaccine.
Oh, don't bring up vaccine to some people. So,
well, right, but I have no I have no tolerance for that, and I'm sorry if you're fucking on the fence about that. Like, I'm sorry, but you know what? I've never had fucking polio. And you know what? 2023, October 26th, never had fucking COVID either.
MZ is the other side of that coin.
This dude loves COVID, bro.
Yeah. Well, have you had it 6 times now? Like, no, you were 3, right?
Fucking, he's a 3-time champ. He's like fucking
3-time COVID champ.
He's in the fucking Hall of Fame. He's like Ric Flair. You're the Ric Flair of COVID.
Woo!
More like
yeah, pretty much. And
yeah, but like medicine overall is good. Can it be fucking abused? Abso-fucking-lutely. Just like guns, you fucking prick.
Well, yeah, it can and is.
It is.
But also the prices don't need to be what they are too. It's corporate greed.
Oh,
That's
sure.
It's ridiculous. And for the president, or like, I think I don't know, like, I'm trying to remember. I don't know the whole specifics, but I think he wrote a bill that made insulin a lot cheaper or something like that. Like, when the president has to get involved in that, like, that's fucked up, right? Like, it's just, so it's inherently problematic. There are problems around that, but yes, inherently it does try to do good. Now, we could, once again, I don't want to use the C word that she used in this, conspiracy, because conspiracies used to be fun, as we established like a few weeks ago, I think, but now they're not fun. But there could be the conspiracy that some of these things are created so that people do have to buy into the system of pharmaceuticals. Like, I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about, like, could there be a cure for, I don't know, like, whatever, like cancer, like, like, are they slow rolling this out, or, it's like one of those things. I'm not saying I believe in this, but there are enough opinions
There's an
out there.
argument. There's no money in the cure. There's money in prevention.
Exactly. Yeah. And holding it off, not even prevention necessarily, but like just kind of keeping it at bay.
Right. Like remember when cars were made out of metal? like you think you could actually have safe vehicles and not cars that I could punch a dent in on my $134 weight. I could fucking kick I could probably kick an average car like this cut scene in Street Fighter.
Or
like Ryu.
Or wait. What about fucking Brawl and Cell Block 99? Was that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brawl, where he tears the fucking
the hell out of a car.
Yeah.
I could beat the shit out of my fucking Hyundai right now at my fucking skinny ass.
Could you beat the hell out of your old Charger?
No, it's a fucking Dodge, bro. Probably. Fiberglass and shit. We got to make some jokes.
Yeah. You got any more yokes?
I'm not. No, I think I used them all up.
All right. So, so I think it pits these two sort of evil entities in a way against each other. I know it's not necessarily pharmaceuticals versus gun control. Like that's not what it essentially comes down to. But to one person, it's about pharmaceuticals. To another person, it's about gun control. And there is some like leeway in between there. But one person just wants to sort of like enact what they feel is their freedom. And, like if they feel that pharmaceutical companies are killing people, why can't they just go out and like take it literally and kill people with a gun, so that's sort of like one of the themes of this without giving too much away. I think the bulk of this movie is in the tension and what happens, from point A to point B. And it's not so much like the themes. We can talk about the themes without giving much away because it's all in the tension and what you see unfolding on screen. But the thing I liked about it is it sort of brought up some gray area of, even though I'm vehemently against guns and wanting to enact some stricter gun control, I can also see sort of the other side of like I'm vehemently against people having access to guns, but I can also see how the pharmaceutical company could be like seen as evil and how someone would want to like take a stance against them or something like that, So, but I am not down with taking lives just because you can, it's. So I thought that the two sort of like ideologies being pitted against each other was interesting when you look at it from like, like the far view. You take a far view of what it is. But when you look at it like close up, it's really just one fucking sick fuck trying to terrorize this woman and these people at a convenience store. Like that's the like the close view. The far view is more nuanced than that, and it involves big ideas,
Right. I mean, this premise could have been years ago. Could have been a city slicker coming to a podunk town, and the local yokel is just, oh, you ain't from around here, are you, city boy? City person, and that's why they're in conflict. This brings it in a much more modern day. I'm not saying reason. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's it's getting them to what creates the tension in a way that actually is something a little more relevant.
Yeah, and this is also a single location thriller. You had mentioned, I think, Phone Booth. Like you know, we have other examples of this. Holy shit was one we did earlier. Actually, it was actually kind of similar now that I think about it, right? I didn't even realize that until I just brought it up. But that movie was pretty fucking awesome too, I thought.
Yeah, that the Ryan Reynolds coffin movie he was in.
I never saw that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, these, you know, single location thrillers can be cool. They can also be very difficult to pull off. Like we talked about, I wouldn't call it a single location thriller, but a movie like The Last Voyage of the Demeter mostly was one location, but I feel like that just, it didn't fall flat on its face, but it wasn't a big success. Like I feel like this movie gets the gimmick, sticks with the gimmick, to use Raven Shadow's fucking term. Well, it's not your term, but you know, like you use it all the time.
No.
And I feel like it really leaned into it and utilized it as a strength, as opposed to Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I felt the opposite, where it was the least interesting part of it. I thought I wanted to see more about Dracula and like see him get on shore and do these other things because
and go on vacation.
Yeah, I was.
You hated that fucking. You hated that boat ride.
I want him to go to Greece or something, you know, like go hang out in Greece, take a little
to
trip.
Carnival.
Yeah, go back, you know, because ideally he wants to get back to Carfax Abbey, so you know he's just gonna take a little jaunt, come back, you know. But you know, I feel like they leaned into it and really maximized the effects of the single location to really good effect. And that's not easy to do, as we've found out. But I think this one did it really well.
Having the gas station be the center was crazy. I mean, even if you were to escape, he could still shoot the fucking gas pumps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's bombs around you. So even if you can get out, it was very effective. You're safe, but not. Great product placement flowing.
So even though I haven't had one in like 7 years, I was craving a Mountain Dew for some reason.
Bro, I want a SpaghettiOs so much.
I was jonesing for some Pringles.
Right?
That's funny. It's funny because I
kept thinking of that scene in Wayne's World. Yeah.
The whole deal where, you know, you're just enclosed in this area where you're surrounded by windows. Okay, so you have a pretty good, you know, when you're not being shot at, you could take a look outside and see what's going on, if you can see anything at all. You know, it's a lot like The Mist, where the grocery store in The Mist was the front was nothing but windows. So, and a lot of it took place in the dark, and you couldn't see past the mist anyway, even during the daylight, because the mist was so goddamn thick. But it's that kind of freedom that toys with you. The nemesis of yourself here toys with you, whereas in the mist, you could see outside. Outside is freedom. It's dangerous though, and if you go out there, you could die. Same situation here.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these windows. You could see outside. Freedom is just a few steps away, and you can't go out because you're going to get shot. So it's that kind of game that the evil, I guess you could say, I guess you could call it that. It toys with you, and it plays with your mind. I thought there was some really great tense scenes in this movie, and it's all based on timing, pacing, and editing. The scene where the guy was trying to get back to his car to get his phone, man, just the tension in that scene. I am sitting on the edge of my seat, and I am watching this, and I am just you think something's going to happen. You know something's going to happen. But you think, yeah, it's going to happen, but there's also the possibility that maybe nothing will happen. We've seen it happen before in many movies, many times, on both sides. And what happens here, it just gets you. No matter what happens, it gets you. You know.
And
It's just the way that whole scene is played out, the pacing and the editing, the timing of it, it's just fantastic. It just has you on the edge of your seat.
I saw that scene differently. I thought Alice was kind of being a little bit of a heel in that scene.
Which scene?
Where
I think
Alice
she
took
set
the
that
guy
dude up. She set the dude up.
Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
her
you can you can
Going into
understand
business for herself.
you can understand her hesitancy though.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, I love the tension with the hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
that too. Yeah, exactly. It's perfectly done.
But in one other aspect of this, it's funny. I don't know that this. I haven't really given this a lot of thought, but I thought that there might have been a subtext of that she was cheating. Well, that's not subtext. That's just there. But that like the idea of like cheating and how it affects others, like like that's. I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I had like kind of gotten that vibe that because he the sniper was like talking about that aspect of things of like oh well you're with some other dude and you're cheating and whatever, like
What did I do wrong? My wife cheated on me.
yeah
I never did. I abuse her physically? Did I abuse her mentally?
she was just
did I
bored or something,
provide for
right?
her?
Yeah. So
Was
like
she bored?
yeah, so I was thinking about that because it seemed like they were almost going in a direction where talking about how like the collateral damage of something like that, and how it affects other people.
Right.
But more I think about it and the more the film went on, I don't think that that was an aspect of it. It could have been a piece, to get you to kind of think about, but I don't think that that was like a large part of it that they're trying to say, hey, we're trying to, send this message that, this means that. But so, yeah, I kind of backed off of that, but there could be an element of that too, where, but the thing is, we don't know if she was really being unfaithful necessarily.
I think we do.
Well, she said something.
She said it.
She said something later that led you to believe maybe something else was going on.
You don't brush your teeth. You don't share a bath. Wolfie, you've stayed over here a bunch of times. Never once did I brush my teeth while you came out of the shower as we were getting ready to go to Rock and Shock.
Oh, I'm not. Well, here's the
Not on
thing.
your opportunities, pal.
There's no doubt that they weren't, working, like there's no doubt about that. But what I mean is whether or not it was okay. Like, it seemed like there was some issues with the husband or boyfriend. I think it was a husband, right?
I think it was a husband, yeah.
So it to me, there is some alluding to the fact that maybe they were taking a break because something that is said later on. And once again, you don't know when someone literally has a gun pointed at them. You don't know if they're being honest or not. To get to survive. But she had said something that led me to believe that maybe she wasn't being unfaithful. That there was an agreement, and they were because. I think the husband said, "I'm proud of you. You're working through things or something like that. Something along the lines." There was definitely some tension in that relationship. It wasn't that she was just going back home after a trip. There was something more to it than that.
I mean, I didn't think they also weren't like lovey-dovey. Like, it wasn't like, the scene in American Beauty, right, where Annette Bening and the dude with the eyebrows, after they hook up, they're all like all over each other in the drive-through. When before we knew Kevin Spacey was a piece of shit, worked at the burger joint. They were like, "Oh yeah, we got to get some, food to release it." They weren't like touchy-feely. I didn't feel they were super close in their any intimacy they engaged in. You know what I'm trying to say? It wasn't like it was a return to being 20 years old again.
Right. Right.
Although she might have been 20 something. It wasn't that like, you know, trying to say it wasn't like the, I don't want to say the exciting part of having an affair, but like that, it seems sad.
Yeah,
The hotel room
there
seems
there
sad.
wasn't a lot of excitement around that. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's kind of, you know, kind of what I was getting at. It seemed like it was almost like, you know, she had said something about like just kind of going through the motions, or I don't remember exactly what she said, but anyways, like, yeah, I was going down that path thinking that there is going to be something to be said about that, but I sort of like backtrack a little bit, and when there was more information that that probably wasn't what they were doing, but I feel like there was like kind of a side dish of a side dish of cheating is bad and it can affect other people, you know, or it affects everyone really, you know, whether they know it or not, you know. Let's talk about. Oh, and by the way, I didn't comment on the performance by Camille Rowe, but I thought she was fucking awesome. Like, this was a tour de force, and it was a very physical, demanding role, crawling around on the floor, like basically being injured for almost the whole movie. You know, of sort of acting like as in wrestling, you would say selling, you know, selling the injury.
Right.
You know, and she did a really good job of selling the injuries and all that, and feeling like I got the sense that she was in a lot of pain and that she was persevering through this and trying to do whatever she could to survive. That's the impression I got, and I thought that she was really good in this. And I can totally understand why she was cast in this. This was a tour de force performance. And, you know, like, it's not going to win an Oscar or anything like that, you know, obviously. But for, you know, to sell to be convincing that you're going through this for the duration of the movie, I think was really impressive for, you know, on her end. So, yeah, I thought she was really good. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing what else she does after this, because this was a really strong performance. So I hope to see her in some other stuff.
And then utilizing what's around her in a gas station, you know, being
like
is
MacGyver.
there some movie magic you got to go with? Sure, but you saw her use hand sanitizer or use first aid kits to wrap things up. You know, drink a whole bunch of fucking, you know, Advil or Tylenol. I probably would have grabbed the Coronas that were in there to wash it down. But like, you could buy that she was just able to like take care of herself.
Yeah, definitely.
For movie logic.
Totally, yeah.
She was very resourceful.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, it's almost so she got her ideas out of the Nancy Thompson School of Booby Traps, you know.
Nancy Thompson School of Booby Traps.
But let's not forget the sniper. I thought the sniper also was very threatening.
Oh my God.
The voice did not waver, did not quiver, except when things started getting a little crazy while she, you know, talking about her pharmaceutical career. The sniper just didn't waver. He was very deadpan, with a very deadpan delivery, a very serious delivery. There were moments in it very early on when he was talking to, when he was making her think that he was calling the cops. And you knew there was something going on because he kept on asking questions that didn't matter at all, like, where are you in the store and things like that. Like, it's like, okay. At that point, I had a feeling something was up, but at the same time, there was always that outside possibility that this might not be him. 3 o'clock in the morning, you run across some pretty strange characters, no matter where you live.
Yeah.
And so I just, I just put that into account for this scene here. But his delivery was just rock solid, man.
Yeah, so the sniper was played by an actor named Stasa Stanek. This is the only thing he's ever been in, so it's his first role. And yeah, you're right. Like, we don't get to see a lot of him, but it did take a certain amount of, like gumption to have this performance. And one thing I like, I don't want to say too much, but when the reveal or lack thereof, or whatever you want to call it, of who it was, I thought was really good.
Yes. And a very important that they didn't, well, I like how it was done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it fits the narrative better that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even like it completely ramped up to like that scene, the last victims that we saw the sniper take out, like that was pretty brutal and like hit kind of hard. And then when you see that someone was sort of still in the car, like it was fucking heartbreaking, right? Like man, like that was literally that was a tough scene to watch, to just have that tension hanging over your head.
The minute I saw what was on the car, on the rack.
Oh, I didn't even notice, I guess. Was it a bike or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't even paying attention to that, so that's a good call, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, boyski. I'm like, and that was done really well.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to get into that. Oh,
No,
I do have.
like, yeah, I don't have to say much more than that. I mean, I think what we said is already like, pretty good. But that was, I mean, that really, if you want to add tension, that's one way to do it, right? Like, and you can take sort of your real world sort of knowledge with an active shooter in that situation, and I think that just adds even more tension to it, because you're like, oh, come on, not this person, like.
Right.
Yeah. But you knew it had to happen because there was just too much time left in the film, and and there had to be some kind of a hook to keep that story generating, and that anticipation and that tension generating. So I'm not surprised. I wasn't really all that surprised by it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, Jesus, no.
Yeah, it definitely got it was tough. It was definitely a bit of a tough watch, and especially because I don't want to say too much, but especially with the ability for that character to comprehend things, made it more challenging. And that was like, oh man, come on,
But what do you do? What do you expect that character to do in that situation?
Yeah.
Like when all you have is, it wasn't a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a tough watch. It's like very tense, very real, and yeah, it was a tough watch at times for sure.
Based on Monster Zero's recommendation, I did watch Scooby Doo the other day, and that was fun. This was the opposite.
I want to. Oh, he's wearing Scooby Doo pants. Look at that. Oh man, that's funny. I do want to kind of wrap this up, but I do want to talk about the gore. let's go to the Resident Gorehound. MZ, what'd you think?
I thought the prosthetics in this film were good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
In areas where they didn't need prosthetics, just a whole bunch of meaty bits and pieces and tissue. That was also fine too. That was very good. The final gore scene, blood scene, that was maybe a little overdone. I mean, when you think about the realism of what's been going on here, I think the final gore shot was perhaps a little overdone, if you want to count realism into it, but no less satisfying as far as a gore scene goes. That was if you want your gore, that last scene is it. Like I said, the prosthetics were good. Like when Alice first gets shot, you could see like the swelling in the arm. Sometimes you just see a bullet wound, and then they just start treating it and everything. But here you could see like the skin starting to swell around it, and things like that.
Right.
So you could see it happening. So it was like really, really well done. And the way she was like trying to mend the wounds with super glue, and just the way all that was just being put together and sticking and everything, it was just really well done. I was really happy with the way the practical effects worked out in this movie.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that there's some really good scenes of gore, and it was utilized in a really realistic way. I didn't get a sense that there was much, if any, CGI in this. I saw a lot of practical effects.
Practical.
Yeah, and some of the stuff looked really good. Gunshot wounds look pretty legit. The cut, like I liked that scene where she was like gluing it together, and and even towards the end there was some good stuff there. So yeah, I would say that I thought it was well done. It's not gratuitous if you don't, she's constantly bleeding, I guess, for because she has a wound. So if you don't consider that gratuitous, then it's, it's not gratuitous in a way that you're constantly seeing flesh flying and whatever.
Right. I mean, it fit the context of what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you going to do? I mean, like, I think I'm very fortunate at 46 years. I've not been shot with a bullet.
Neither have I, thankfully.
But you're Italian. How is that possible?
Half Italian. But I think the way they did bullets in, was it Three Kings? Remember the Three Kings joint? Where they really
I
did
didn't
a great
see
shot.
it, though.
Oh, really? There's a great shot when they show how a bullet enters the body and how your body, like,
The bullet hits
reacts
the bone.
to it. The poison. It's a great scene. MZ, you've seen Three Kings, right?
It's been a while, but yeah.
You know when they're like, and the bullet comes in.
Yeah,
like,
the bullet goes through. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's gotta suck, right? It's gotta suck balls to be shot.
Yeah. I'd say.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck balls, dude.
Don't fuck. Is that about PSA? Don't get shot, bro.
It sucks balls.
Sucks balls.
Getting shot sucks balls, dude. Don't do that. But
right.
And great Foley. I mean, the glass stuff.
Aquel Foley?
Aquel Foley. It's not sexy. But Foley's here to see her.
All right. Anything else you guys have that you want to talk about with this one?
Let's wrap it up.
All right. I think we can do the verdict on this. So why don't we go ahead and do that?
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. Verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Night of the Hunted was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts we may have. Let's start with MZ.
This innocuously titled little film, which sounds like it should be the title of a 1950s adventure film starring John Wayne, is fantastic. I love this movie. It's tense. It's a taut little thriller, I'll tell you. Such a tense little flick, man. Very good acting. Our lead heroine is just fantastic in this. She's strong. She's capable. She's independent. She's resourceful. You know, she's almost like Ripley, only without fighting aliens. Almost. All right, maybe that's a little too extreme, but you get my point. If you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think the sniper was deadly and serious and deadpan and threatening and dangerous and violent, and without a care in the world. It's a very good movie. I mean, it's got great amount of tension, even for the smallest little thing of just moving from one aisle to the other in the store. Yeah, it heaps a bunch of tension on you. It's a strong film, and it's good. It's good. It's real good. This is a very high recommend. This is a big treat for me.
All right. Michael Ravenchaddle.
Overall, I did enjoy this. Now, I'm not saying I wasn't frustrated by some things. I was frustrated with the fact that there were, in 2023, that many people would leave their cell phones in their car going into a place. That's a struggle. And I feel they had to do it.
I've done it.
I don't know, bro.
You're asking if I don't know? Yeah. If you're just running in, yeah.
Dude, I'll speak for myself.
That's all you can do, because we just spoke for ourselves.
I never go into a place without my wallet and my phone. I never do. I never leave it anywhere.
All right. Well, all right. You're yourself, and if you were in that movie other than the other people, then this movie would be boring.
But I don't think that. So even like the one dude who wants to go in to flirt with the clerk, you're gonna bring your phone with you, dude, because you want to check your.
I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk.
I shot the clerk. Right. It's kind of like a dark Clerks. If Clerks are really good, dark.
Yeah. Dark Clerks.
So I mean, it's like the new landlines cut, which happens. You know what I mean? Or the weather is impeding the phone reception. It just, I get it. Like, I would have loved if the child had a phone. That would have been funny to me. If like because kids get phones earlier now. That's where I'm going. Maybe even like a Firefly phone, if you remember those from back in the day. But I don't know. You don't leave your fucking phone in your dashboard. I don't believe it. That took me out.
So, okay, you just said you wouldn't. MZ and I both said we have.
Then I would hope after watching this movie, you keep your fucking phone in your pocket. I hope this is a fucking lesson for you two, for the two of you.
All right, let me ask you a question. You wouldn't leave your phone in your car, but have you?
No.
But like by accident.
You've never done that. No.
No.
All right.
Because I'm a fucking nut, and you know that.
Well, yes,
like,
I do know that. All right, fair.
I just don't like, because I think like, what if like SFW happens? You know what I mean? What if I think about that shit? You know, I sit with my I sit with my back towards the wall. I want to wash the door. I think about getting out before I fucking go in. I think about fucking weirdest. Ask Marion, she'll tell you.
Well, I know I know most of it, I think, or some of it at least, but all the things you explained, yes, you are a weirdo.
Yeah.
So okay.
I'm a nut. I'm a nut. I'll fucking tell you. But
Sometimes
I
you feel
did.
like a nut. Sometimes you make MZ fucking die from
Same.
allergies.
Yeah. But with that said, I did. It's hard to enjoy this movie, but I was all in, and you know, a few things that like sometimes like, get the fuck down, like just fuck, get the fuck down. I love the Mike Muir looking metalhead appearance. That was awesome.
Mike Muir, he looked more like fucking Robert Trujillo.
Oh, okay, yeah, Robert Trujillo. Yeah, that's a good pull. Yeah. But he was awesome. Give that guy a movie.
Was he just going to go to gas stations and have his car declined at every single one? That's the movie.
Yeah.
He's looking for a gas station.
Like, good thing this guy had a bag. Like, why'd the metalhead have to have bad credit, bro? I got fucking, my credit score is killer, dude. But
Are
yeah.
you through with your review yet? Jesus.
No, I've not just begun it. All right, listen. Bring your fucking cell phones with you. Bring your cell phones with you.
Yeah, you know what? Alice brought hers with her. What? How did that work out for her?
I don't know what she was doing with it.
She was holding it up. She had it in her hand, like a shot out of her fucking hand.
Don't wave it around like it's a fucking mother
She wasn't
box.
waving.
Keep it in your pocket.
She wasn't waving it around. She had it in her hand.
I don't know, but then the fucking. I don't
So
know. All
what
right.
you're saying is take your phone with you and don't hold it in your hand.
Listen, all I know is everywhere I go, I got my smokes, I got my lighter, I got my phone, I got my wallet. It's a treat.
Thank God.
Oh, you know, I forgot to play the Thriller thing. I said I was going to play during the break, and I forgot. But whatever, I'll play it some other time.
Yeah, next Halloween.
Yeah, next Halloween. You can go back and listen to Halloween 2022 and hear it at the beginning. All right, so let me get to mine. This is a treat. Yeah, it's funny because when I read the synopsis, I saw the basic premise, and I was like, you know, like Frank Calhoun did the Maniac remake. It was really good. He did I Lived. It was really bad. I was kind of like, you know what? I could see this going either way. Like, those are the two films I've seen from him. I could see this going either way. And I thought that this premise had the potential to go more towards I Lived than Maniac. And what I mean is bad versus good. And
Right.
I feel like he pretty much knocked this out of the park in terms of what he tried to do with it. Like, it's a very, it's a very small film. It's, once again, single location thriller. And it does everything that you should with that kind of film really well. And I really have no complaints about this. The performance is great, shot well, looked good, and good gore. Like, great tension, like really good tension. It was difficult to watch. I'll agree with you, Raven Shadow. And this is one that I probably won't watch again. But I'm glad that I saw it. And I think that this bodes well for Frank Calhoun's future, and also for Camille Rowe, the actress. A lot of people are going to see this on Shudder, and I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes open to the performance. And, I could see her getting some bigger roles out of this, and just kind of continuing to shoot up that ladder, I don't think she necessarily looks like Margot Robbie or Samara Weaving, but like once Margot Robbie started that upward trend, like I feel like Samara Weaving started getting the roles that she would have gotten. And then now Samara Weaving is going up that ladder, and I feel like there's somebody else that has to sort of take over those kinds of roles, and I could see Camille Rowe kind of taking that on until she moves up to the next level. You know?
Oh, she can hang. She can.
Yeah, for
sure. Give her something. Give her. Yeah. If you don't cast her in something, you're probably a dummy.
So it's a treat. It's on Shudder. It can be a tough watch, definitely, because this is real life shit. MZ is experiencing it right fucking now. There's someone in his state within close proximity that is an active shooter that is still out there on the fucking loose. And that's scary shit. And, you know, it's real life. It's something we all have to sort of contend with in this country. So it's not fun. It's not a fun movie, but it's gripping, it's intense, and it's well made. So if you feel you can, you know, if you're in the right mindset, you feel like you can watch something like this, you know, even though there's like another fucking mass shooting in this country, go for it. But if you need a little bit of a break, maybe wait, you know, a few weeks, things calm down. You know, what am I saying? It's not going to calm down.
But it was she did
get a
great
couple
line
days.
too. Is like there's a great line where she's like, "It's just gonna happen. Either they're gonna shoot you or you're gonna kill your fucking self,
Right,
and
right.
shit will go on."
Yep.
Like, what are you trying to fucking do? You fucking
maniac,
blankety coward. You know, like
I really,
no one
you have to
gives
tell
a
us what you want to. I want you to tell us off air because I'm wondering what you're actually thinking when you say blankety blank.
Yeah.
That you can't say on the air.
You know what?
I think you know what I'm trying to
fucking say.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. So, all right. Well, there you go. So, treats all around. Check it out. It's on Shudder. Now, next week. Oh, I can tell everyone what the movie is when MZ's away. He won't know next week. Then he'll be the one asking. What do you think about that, Raven Channel, huh?
Yeah, who's the ghost now?
All right. Once again, let me just double check that this movie is going to be available because I've been doing the lists in advance, so I usually don't check them like every week. So let me just make sure that this one is going to be available. And I think, is it already out? Coming out tomorrow, I think. Okay, so I just want to make sure it's going to be on VOD. It should be. Let's see. You know what? Let me play, just because I don't know, I'm just looking up the shit up. It's dead air, and MZ's not even here either. So I'll look it up just to make sure, and then I'll announce it in just a few moments. But while I do that, I want to go ahead and play a video. We got a video review from our boy Casual Noob Cybot, and so in the chat, he actually mentioned some kind of spoilery stuff that I don't want to read. I'm going to play his voice message. I haven't listened to this, or it's not a voice message, it's a video message. I haven't listened to this, so I don't know if he talks about any spoiler stuff. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, Night of the Hunted, maybe jump ahead 5 minutes, and I'll let you know at the end if there is any spoilers. Yeah, let me just play this. I'll play the video, and then I'll look up to make sure the movie we're going to do next week is absolutely going to be available on VOD. And yeah, so let's hear from the man, Casual Noob Cybot, and he is going to talk about this movie, and I think he's going to give us his thoughts on Night of the Hunted. So let's give it a listen. Why am I not getting
Hunted?
There we go.
On Shudder. It reminded me almost immediately of, I believe the name of the movie was Downrange.
Oh yeah, yep.
Also on Shudder, I believe, exclusive.
Yep.
Basically, where people were in that one, Downrange, people were pinned down by a gunman, I guess like a sniper, and they had to, get to safety. This one was more of, I would call, the kind of similar to Downrange, except it's more in a modern setting because that one was just out on the open highway.
Yep.
Where they had, I guess, stopped, if I remember correctly. This one, she was in a gas station, and I thought that the way that they set it up and the way that they told the story in this, where basically you didn't know what was going on, and just like her, you kind of felt the main character's plight of, I don't know why this is happening, I don't know what's happening, why it's happening to me, and she's trying to piece it together. And then also, which is, really interesting, you actually have an interaction in this one with the shooter, because he, leaves a way to communicate with her. And because of that, you kind of get that interaction where he kind of, at first he's like, he doesn't reveal that he's the shooter, so she thinks she's just talking to someone for help, but then, she's actually talking to the shooter, which, I mean, I'll be honest, almost every kind of surprise that they were kind of doing, I kind of just like was sitting there screaming at the screen going, no, that's the killer. There's no way that is not the killer. And of course it was the shooter. So, there was a part in there where they kind of schmixed me up, and I didn't know because someone does show up where she's trapped. And I'm sitting there going to myself, that's got to be the killer, but it wasn't. I mean, so they definitely kept me on my toes, and the way that this movie ended, you basically you don't get any resolution to who it is, who the killer is. So, and I mean, at least, she did what she did in the end, which, was good. She kind of redeemed herself, because if you look at the arc of like, in movies, there's that thing of, if you're a bad person, especially in horror movies, usually the rule is, if you're a bad person or doing, bad things according to, like the Bible and religious things, like if you're committing any sins or doing anything bad, like if you're doing drugs or you're drinking or you're having sex, usually you're more likely to die in a horror movie. And she kind of was basically not doing good things in the beginning, but they gave her a chance, and she kind of redeemed herself at the end. And that redemption arc, isn't that the whole point of the entire Star Wars movies? The redemption of Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
yep, boy.
Listen, they took from other kind of movies and things that other movies, do great, and they did it with this. I would definitely say that this was definitely a treat. I enjoyed this one. Glad you guys recommended it. Just even more happy that it was on Shudder, because it's funny. I had just canceled my Shudder subscription because I was like, I'm really not watching anything on it, and couldn't think of anything to like really look for because I just in general wasn't watching movies. But I mean, I instead I upgraded to AMC Plus, so I have now Shutter Plus, all the stuff under the AMC umbrella, because I do enjoy a lot of those AMC things. So, you know, if I can get my movies there in that format, hey, let's you know, pick from those two guys. So anyway, thank you for the good recommendation. I definitely enjoyed my time watching the recommendation this week. You guys have a good one. Sorry I haven't been around that long. Just different things get in the way. I get sidetracked and you know whatnot. But anyway, this is Casual Noob Cybot signing out. Later.
Nice, brother.
All right, Casual Noob. That was a great review.
Yeah,
I think he,
for sure.
I think he knocked that one out of the park. There's a little bit of spoiler, but not much. So, I think if you did bump ahead, you're probably fine. So big, as Raven Chat would say, big ups to Noob Saibot. Always good to hear from you, and glad you dug the recommendation. Next week, you guys have anything to add about Casual Noob before we move on?
No, thank you for calling in, brother.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so I did find out the movie that we're going to be doing next week is going to be on Shudder once again. So, Casual Noob, good thing you have AMC Plus, because you will be able to watch When Evil Lurks. Now, this one I've been looking forward to. This is one that's been getting a lot of buzz about being potentially one of the better horror movies. Better, the better horror movies this year. When Evil Lurks is directed by Demian Rugna, who did the movie Terrified, not Terrifier, Terrified.
Terrified was good.
Yeah, I wish we had done it on the show. We almost did, and I don't know for whatever reason it got bumped, I think, but I heard a lot of good things, and this one has been getting a lot of praise, so I'm very interested, and can't wait to see this. It is an Argentinian film, so it's a Spanish speaking. So just heads up for anyone. You know, if you need to leave a certain time to watch a subtitle movie, you can do that. I know some people, you know, maybe they like to focus a little bit more on what's going on. But there you go. Yeah, so we're going to check out When Evil Lurks, and it's popping on Shudder October 27th. So that's literally a few hours from now of when we're recording this and streaming it live. So When Evil Lurks next week. Give that a look and let us know what you think. I think maybe next week. Yeah, I think we have a couple guests potential. It really kind of all depends on what's going on with what we end up doing with the extra special Halloween special. So we'll find out. We may have a guest next week, though. And we have one voicemail. Let me just quickly get to that. It's from 01886 Westford. That's what it says. Let's give it a listen, find out. Hey, that's us.
Trick or Treat Radio. Hey, Monster Zero.
Yeah.
Hey, Wolfie.
Oh, shit.
What's up, Raven Shadow?
Yeah. Gene.
What's up, boy?
Guys, can I add the theme song to Tales from the Dark Side? Till this day,
yes,
haunts me.
Yeah.
Terrifying. I am still scared to watch that show. You know what I'm saying, man? Fuck, dude. Oh, and Wolfie, Connor Bedard scored his first 3 goals, twice on the Bruins and against the Golden Knights. Happy Halloween, guys.
Awesome. I love that dude. Gene Siskel's balding head, or Gene Spalding. But yeah, he brings up It's funny. Tales from the Dark Side. That was one that Tanya had mentioned. She's like, "Oh, why don't you guys do like a version of this?" That was another one she recommended because she loves that show. So I think we talked about maybe watching some more of that this weekend because I'm taking a few days off next week to have an extra long spooky weekend. So we may watch some of that stuff. So yeah, that's a good pull, man. Tales from the Dark Side.
I don't want to give that dude a hug and a kiss. I'll tell you that much.
All right, so we actually apologize. We did get one more voice message just a couple minutes ago. So let me just go ahead and load this up. That'll be the last one, and then we're going to wrap up. I know MZ's going to turn into a pumpkin soon. So, all right. Here is the final voicemail for this episode, and it is from our good brother, First Time Mike.
5 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 5 more days till Halloween. Silver Shamrock. Yeah, season of the witch in the house.
Yeah.
Everybody better be nice or Tom Atkins might find out. I don't know what the fuck that dude's going to do. He could bust in. He could start whooping somebody's ass. He could start hitting on your mom. He could start drinking all your beer. I don't know. It's freaking Tom Atkins. He does what the fuck he wants. But
he's right.
This is First Time Mike wishing everybody a happy Halloween.
Yeah, brother.
And be safe whatever you do, and make sure all your little trick-or-treaters in your family, in your life, make sure to get a whole bunch of candy. This is FTM saying good night. FTM out.
Such a brother.
Love that dude. Yeah. Few more days. I can't help but think of Danhausen now that he fucking co-opted that for his his thing. MZ, what did you think of Danhausen?
Mike is very nice and very evil.
Yes, he is. What did you think of Danhausen on Joe Bob?
Well, I can't say Joe Bob is selling out because it wasn't his idea.
No, I mean Darcy's a big AEW fan, so
yeah, she's a huge AEW fan. I like Danhausen as a character, but as a wrestler, no.
Well,
He's
yeah, but you didn't have to watch him wrestle. But what did you think of him on Joe Bob? That's all I care about, not about wrestling.
Well, let's put it this way: I like him on the show better than I like Jericho.
Oh.
Did what did they do? It was Demons 2? Was that the
Demons 2? Yeah.
And what was the other one?
All Hallows Eve.
Oh, okay.
Where you get to see the first time of Art the Clown.
Art the Clown.
I've never seen it before until then.
Yeah, I've actually never seen it either. Would you recommend it?
No, a lot of people hate it. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's like the birth of Art the Clown.
Yeah,
you know? And it's really well done. It's really, it's not fully fleshed out yet, but the core is there, and it's really good.
Cool. So there you go, Danhausen. MZhausen. Ravenhausen.
Oh, Ravenhausen. I love Danhausen.
Wolfiehausen.
Ooh.
We should get him on the Halloween show. I wonder if he...
He might do.
Trick or treat radio.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good
That's
show.
pretty good.
Oh, very nice. Very evil.
Yeah. I need more monies to be on Trick or Treat Radio. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
pretty
does.
Good. It's a great character, though. I mean, I see that character going places. I really do.
MZ,
Monster Zero.
he has been like in the past in the indies, he was like playing a really evil character. Like not this like kind of goofy, but he would come out like with a jar of teeth, and he would like pour the teeth down someone's mouth and then kick him in the mouth. He was a lot more evil at some point, and I'm sure he will be eventually in AEW.
Oh, I love. Did he get hurt?
Yeah, that's why he's been out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I love the gimmick when he was like teaming up with Britt Baker, who was legit dentist for real.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, there was a rumor. It is a great thing where like the rumor that she supplied him with teeth.
Oh no, that's not. I don't think that's true because I think he just made them.
No, but they touched on it in some maybe some of the RJ City stuff. Like some of the
okay.
and
I must have missed that though.
Yeah. But no, Dan House is fucking dope. Super nerd, super comic fan.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, eh? He's almost like a cross between Michael Richards and Transylvania 65000. Oh, it's good, eh? It's good. That's still one of the greatest like things in movie history is it was good, eh? It was good. The banana peel thing.
It's good.
I told
El Goro. Okay.
I know. I was so disappointed in El Goro, but anyways, I recommended. I think he's seen it before, but Rocky was looking for a movie to watch recently, and I was like, "Oh, dude, you got to if you haven't seen this, watch this." I can't remember if he had seen it previously. I think he said he had, but he hadn't seen it in a while. But yeah, he watched it and he was like freaking out about Michael Richards in that movie.
He's the best. I rewatched Transylvania 65000 like 2 years ago, and like, is it a great film? No, but at 10 years old, I loved it, and I still make.
Oh, you loved Gina Davis when you were 10 years old.
I love
the nymphomaniac vampire.
I loved Gina Davis at 46 years old. What do you think of that?
All right, we should wrap this up.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, so Monday, October 30th, Devil's Night. If you can come join us live, we'd love to have you. We want to hear voice messages, so feel free to send in your favorite songs associated with horror movies, even your favorite spooky songs. They don't have to be associated with a horror movie if you can't think of something, but favorite soundtracks, anything that is related to horror movies being synonymous with music and vice versa, or consequently haunted songs, haunted albums, whatever that caused some fucking haywire or summon demons or whatever. So that's going to be the topic. Feel free to call in a voice message with your favorites. And if you want to partake in the Patreon exclusive intro that we do every Halloween, there'll be some details on Discord, but send us a line or two. You can do multiple takes if you want of a line or two from one of these songs that we're talking about. So you want to do Welcome to My Nightmare, you want to do Nightmare on My Street, you want to do Tales from the Dark Side intro, you want to do Dead Man's Party, whatever the fuck, anything. Just do a line that you really like from it and send it to me, and I am going to piece it together and figure out a way to make it work. It'll be interesting. I would prefer spoken word, maybe spooky spoken word, but you can also sing a version if you want to. So there you have it. That's it. Let's say goodbye. MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags, and see you on All Hallows Eve.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right. So, yeah, next week we'll be back with the regular episode with episode 588, and that will be on November 2nd. So if you're just following the weekly shows, maybe you won't hear the extra special Halloween special before then. A happy Devil's Night, a happy Halloween, and a happy Samhain, Dia de los Muertes, whatever you celebrate. It is the best time of the year, and we're going to have some fun. Hopefully you guys can join us for the live extra special Halloween special on Devil's Night. It should be a good time. We'll get some cool stuff planned, and we'd love to hear from a lot of folks for that. So that's going to do it. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and yeah, come check out the Halloween show. We'll also be dropping the second part of the Patreon discussion of Legacy and Horror in the next few days. I don't want to inundate people with too much content, but we're releasing that soon. And yeah, that's all. Everyone have a happy Halloween if we don't see you before then, and see you next week.